Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto saves Ino from Sasuke. Before I start, please support for more amazing content, and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by bestever and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1, Where It All Began. Pant. He couldn't stop now, he had to keep going. He made a left through 2 buildings, he turned right through the alley between another 2. He had to keep going. If he stopped, it's all over for him. He kept on running and running, but he was forced to finally stop. He had run into a dead end. He desperately tried to turn back around, but it was too late. They caught up. There he is, get the demon! The mob leader yelled as his fellow companions raised their fists in the air. The little boy cowered in the corner. There was nothing he could do. Why was all he asked, but the mob members simply smirked and kicked him in the face. They repeatedly punched and kicked him with no remorse. He tried to fight back, he scratched at one of them with his hands. His fingers made it into a man's eye, causing him to stop for a second, however this angered him more. The attacker yelled in the air and began to beat the boy even harder. Punch after punch the boy received, but he refused to pass out and die. More of them came to beat him. His eyes were starting to lose focus. Everything was turning red and black. The last thing he saw was a lightning-covered fist coming out of the man's heart. Finally then, did he pass out. Naruto woke up startled and struggling hard to breathe. He looked around the room. It was his room. How did he get here? He looked at his wounds and saw that they were bandaged. He struggled to get up into a sitting position, but a hand suddenly pushed him back down. What the? He looked up and saw a ninja with a mask covering half his face. Stay down, you were beat really bad, you shouldn't move around too much, said the ninja. Hey, who are you? How did I get here? How did you get into my apartment without my key? What happened to the mob? Questioned Naruto with a look of fear in his eyes. He didn't know who this mysterious ninja was. He might have saved him, but he can never be too sure. After all, even ninja had beat him. My name is Kakashi Hatake. I carried you here. I'm a ninja. I can get into houses, mansions, and even castles easily, and I killed them, replied Kakashi rather casually. But if you watched him closely you could see the anger in his eyes after his last words. Naruto stared at the masked man. A ninja? Saved him? Naruto was about to reply, but Kakashi shushed him. Why would I save you? Well, you're a kid that was being beaten by a mob of adults. Why wouldn't I save you? Replied Kakashi casually again. Naruto looked at him with wide eyes. This ninja didn't think he was a demon. Naruto grinned loudly and gave the man a hug. His body hurt all over, however he still managed to do so. The ninja was startled at first, but returned the gesture. Thanks, Kakashi. I'm very thankful. Is there anything I can do to make it up? Asked Naruto anxiously. The masked ninja stared at him thoughtfully, putting a finger to his chin and tilting his head. Get healed up and enter the academy. That's all I'm asking of you. Naruto looked at him. He never thought about joining the academy. He thought about how he could learn to be a super cool ninja like Kakashi, and how he would be able to protect himself from his assailants. It's a deal, replied Naruto. Kakashi gave him a smile. Even though you couldn't see it because of the mask, you could tell by the way his eye lit up. Kakashi told Naruto that he had to leave. Naruto frowned at that but understood that ninja were busy. Kakashi walked towards the door but stopped midway. Oh, by the way, check your fridge if you're hungry as well. And with that, he walked off, closing the door behind him. Naruto was confused about what just happened. He was just beaten by another mob. A ninja saved him and brought him food? He was feeling fine now, so he got out of his bed and walked towards his fridge. He opened it up slowly and drooled at the sight. His fridge was filled with meats, vegetables, fruits, and milk. He instantly began to make himself breakfast. After his delicious breakfast, Naruto decided to go out again because no one ever attacked him when the sun was out. He walked with his arms behind his head, walking down the streets of Konoha. He ignored the people glaring at him, but he couldn't stop it. He kept on walking until he reached the playground where all the kids usually played. He always stopped by and stared at them having fun. They were usually with their parents, or their friends. Naruto was always nervous to go talk to them, and whenever he mustered up the courage to, the parents would tell him to back off and take their kid away. Naruto just stood there and stared at the kids going down the slides, playing tag with each other and swinging on the swings. They were all laughing, giggling and having a good time, while he just stood there and stared. He turned around to leave but stopped as he stared right into a pair of bright blue eyes. Hi! Naruto backed up quickly and saw that it was a blonde girl. Naruto quickly looked around to see if anyone was watching them. My name is Ino, what's yours? Asked Ino. She gave out her hand looking for a handshake. My name is Naruto, he muttered. He never talked to a girl before, and she was cute. You want to play? She asked. She gave him a big smile that Naruto shocked Naruto. How could someone be so happy? I'm okay. What do you want to play? He asked. They played on the park for an hour just having fun, talking, going down the slide. After being exhausted from running around they decided to go on the swings. Naruto has never been on the swings before so he had a hard time making it move. Ino watched him struggle and giggled. He was kicking and rocking his body back and forth but to no avail. She hopped off her swing and went behind Naruto. "Whoa, wait, what are you doing?" screamed Naruto. Ino pushed him, and he almost fell off. If he wasn't holding onto the chains for his life. After a couple more pushes, Naruto realized what she was doing. After finally seeing that he had to swing his legs at the same time as the swing, he got the hang of it. He never felt so free. It was like he was flying. He started to laugh and smile for the first time ever. Ino was also smiling and laughing. Suddenly, an adult came and pushed Naruto off the swings. "What are you doing here? This is a place for children, not monsters!" screamed the adult. Naruto was still lying on the ground facing down. He didn't want to look up or even move. He was scared and sad. He was finally happy for once, but someone decided to ruin it for him. He got up slowly, tears welled up in his eyes. He stared at the women, and was about to run away and cry. However, he turned around only to hit something. A man. Naruto froze. Was he about to get another beating? In front of this new girl he just met? Naruto looked up and saw a man with long blonde hair tied in a ponytail with eyes bright blue filled with rage. Naruto thought he was mad at him, but then he was lightly shoved behind the man. "I, Inoichi. That monster was harming your daughter. I saved her." The women started. "Enough. This boy had done nothing wrong. You will be reported to the Hokage right now," screamed Inoichi. Naruto figured that he was Ino's dad because of their similar names and features. Inoichi walked forward to the women and suddenly disappeared with her. Naruto looked at Ino, who was shocked. She had never seen her father so angry. She got scared and started to whimper. Naruto could see the tears in her eyes but didn't know what to do. He never helped someone out before. It was always him being the one crying. Naruto thought about what he would like someone to do for him when he was upset. So he walked up to her and held her. Ino was shocked for a second but held on to him. She was terrified. She knew her father was a ninja, but she never seen him so angry and use his skills like that. She held on to him as if he was her lifeline. Suddenly Inoichi reappeared and walked up to the children. "Ino, I'm sorry you had to see that." He knelt down and gave her a big hug. She was happy that her dad was normal again and turned to see the blonde boy start to walk away. "Wait, Naruto," said Inoichi. "I know you're not the thing that everyone thinks you are. If you want, you're welcome to play with Ino whenever you want. And also the next time someone hurts you, come find me and I'll deal with them personally." Naruto was shocked once again. This was the third person who was ever kind to him. The first being Kakashi, then Ino, and now her father. He didn't know what to say. He was about to cry again, but suddenly, Ino came up and hugged him. Seeing that Naruto was about to cry, she did the same thing that he did for her. "This is for cheering me up back then," whispered Ino into his ear. Naruto broke down. He continued to cry and let all his emotions out. "TT, thank you so much," whimpered Naruto between his sobs. And with that, Inoichi and Ino walked Naruto home to his apartment. Naruto said goodbye and thanked them for their help. But before he left, Ino turned to her father and asked if Naruto could come over the next day. Inoichi looked at his daughter with a smile and nodded. Naruto was once again very happy and agreed as well. He ran up to his room and jumped onto the bed. He had never been so happy in his life. Chapter 2, The Academy. Years had passed and Ino and Naruto became good friends. They were now old enough to enter the academy. Naruto and Ino were inseparable, like two toilet plungers stuck together. Naruto woke up and stretched his arms out as the sun shined into his bedroom through his open window. Today was going to be a good day, he could feel it. He jumped out of bed and went to the shower. After the shower he put on his favorite clothes. Ino bought him clothing because he never had anything else, aside from his black t-shirt with the orange swirl and a pair of gray shorts. Over the years Ino took him shopping often and she bought him some stuff he really loved. Ino bought him a white shirt with the Konoha symbol on the back and some blue shorts. They were normal attire, but it was the first pieces of clothing she had ever bought him, and they were precious to him. He quickly ate his breakfast and once again wrote a note thanking Kakashi. After that first day he met the ninja. Kakashi would constantly buy groceries for Naruto on a weekly basis. Naruto tried to tell the ninja that he didn't have to, but Kakashi would quickly disappear after putting the food away. Naruto ran out of his apartment and ran to the Yamanaka flower shop. He promised Ino that he would meet up with her, and they would walk together to the academy. He finally reached the shop and walked in to see Ino in her purple outfit. Ino quickly gave her dad a hug and ran to hug Naruto. Naruto hugged back and waved to Inoichi. "Bye kids, have fun and don't get into too much trouble on the first day," yelled Inoichi. "Okay," they both exclaimed. They walked out and headed towards the academy. Naruto was so excited, he will become a great ninja to protect himself and Ino. Ino wanted to be a ninja just like her father. When she first told Naruto, he was shocked. He knew there were plenty of female ninja, but he never considered Ino would want to be one. She always seemed a bit girly, Naruto thought, but he liked that about her. "I can't wait to enter the academy," screamed Ino while jumping up and down. Her blonde ponytail grew tremendously over the past years and was now long enough to move up and down with her. "I know. I've been waiting for this day for so long," replied Naruto. He was too excited. He wanted to get there as soon as possible. Hey Ino, race ya. You're on. They both got into a ready position. 3, 2, 1 go, yelled Naruto. He broke off in a sprint and headed towards the academy. He looked back to see Ino not behind him. He thought he ran so fast he left her behind and snickered. He faced forward only to see the purple-wearing blonde about 10 meters in front of him. No way was he going to let a girl beat him. He pushed harder, and soon he was moving so fast it was hard to move out of people's way. He dodged a woman by quickly dodging to the right, then another lady by dodging to the left. There was a cart of fruit in front of him, and he skillfully jumped over it. He could hear the screams behind him, but he ignored it. He had a race to win after all. He finally caught up to Ino. She looked at him in shock and gave him a quick blow kiss. This caused him to trip and face plant onto the ground. She laughed and continued to sprint off. Naruto quickly got up and continued running. I can't believe that made me lose focus, he thought. He picked up his pace once more and he finally saw the academy in view and pushed his hardest. He was still close to Ino. He pushed himself to his fullest and suddenly blew past Ino. She was shocked as she saw a blur of yellow rush by her. Naruto reached a tree near the academy and smacked it with his hand. He yelled in triumph. I win! Shouted Naruto. He started jumping up and down with joy. But I wasn't trying, Ino said while panting. Naruto looked at her and snickered. He suddenly remembered that blow kiss she gave him. Cheater, you made me fall when you blew that kiss at me, said Naruto. Not my fault you got sidetracked. Well, I had to move out of the way before that kiss hit me, said Naruto while laughing. Suddenly he felt really scared. Ino was staring at him with killer eyes. You think that kiss I blew was that bad? Said Ino rather coldly and eerily. She crossed her arms over her chest and stared at him. Naruto began to back away before Ino tackled him to the ground hard. Ino looked like she was about to kill him, but instead poked him in the forehead and ran into the academy. Naruto wasn't sure why, but his heart was pounding when Ino jumped on top of him. Realizing he was late, he ran into the academy after Ino. He reached his classroom to see a room full of kids and Ino sitting in the back with the empty seat next to her. She smiled and patted the seat. Naruto smiled back and walked up and sat beside her grinning. Everyone was chit-chatting but settled down soon after the instructor walked in. Hello class, I'm Irika, your instructor for this year. You will want to learn everything you can here, so pay attention cause after this, you're going to be going into the real world, said Irika. Some people were scared and gulped while others, like Naruto and Ino, looked on with a determined expression upon their face. The class ended and the students began to pack up and leave. Naruto and Ino already knew who the top students were just by the first class. And there weren't that many. There was Sasuke Uchiha, obviously in the top because of him being an Uchiha. Then there was Shikamaru Nara. He acted like he was asleep the whole class, but he answered every random question instantly while still trying to sleep. Shuji Akimichi was also a known ninja because of his size, so he would be hard to beat. There weren't that many female ninja that stood out. Only Sakura Haruno, who looked like she would be a whore for Sasuke if he asked her. Despite her being crazy over Sasuke, she was intelligent, and looked like she'd be a challenge to Ino. Then there was Hinata Hyuga, the Hyuga heiress. She was a shy girl, but Naruto knew that if she was pushed hard enough, she would excel as a ninja. Naruto and Ino were the last to leave the classroom and started to walk home. They walked through the entrance, and took about 10 steps when suddenly 2 boys from the class blocked their way. Look, the demon is actually in the academy. And he has a cute little play toy, said one of the boys. Fuck off Nuchi, we don't want to fight, said Naruto while standing in front of Ino protectively. Oh, the demon is protecting his toy. Wonder what will happen if we try to take it away, said Yuchi, Nuchi's twin brother. The twins were known as being the sons of the noble Makanuchi family. They are highly viewed from the civilians, however. The ninjas know that they were scum. The family hated Naruto for being the container of the fox that destroyed half their fortunes. They stalked towards Naruto and Ino. Naruto stood in front of Ino still. Once the twins were closer, he charged at Nuchi, punching him in the face while jumping up and kicking Yuchi in the stomach at the same time. Nuchi dropped back and held his bleeding nose while Yuchi stood bent over. Naruto took the opportunity to run up and knee Yuchi in the face hard, knocking him out of the fight and in tremendous pain. Demon! Yoppei, snarled Nuchi. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a kunai. Naruto was terrified. He had nothing but his fists to protect him and Ino. Naruto jumped back as he was slashed at by his torso. Naruto couldn't do anything but dodge the kunai quickly. He jumped, crouched, and tried to swing back, but Nuchi grabbed his hand and slashed him across his stomach. It wasn't a deep cut, but it still cut him. Ino couldn't stand there and watch Naruto risk his life to save them both. She decided to do something. She quickly ran to Nuchi's back and tried to knock him out. Naruto saw her attempt, and his eyes widened. She chopped at the back of Nuchi's neck, thinking that she ended the fight. However, she missed the pressure point where she was supposed to hit for a knockout. Instead, he turned around slowly to face her. He smirked a perverted smile. Cutie. Looks like you want to have some fun, said Nuchi. He grabbed her by her hair and was about to hit her when suddenly he felt a huge amount of killer intent. He slowly turned around to see Naruto staring at him with a look of pure murder on his face. You will not touch her ever again, yelled Naruto. He charged at Nuchi and seemingly teleported right in front of him faster than the blink of an eye. Nuchi's eyes widened as he felt the punch that was delivered to his stomach. His eyes widened even more as he saw the fist that was coming to his face. The fist collided and Nuchi went flying into a tree, out cold. Naruto finally calmed down and realized what he did. He just beat up the 2 sons of the Makunuchi family. He was so dead. And Naruto, are you okay? Asked Ino worriedly. She ran to him and put his face between her hands so he would face her. He stared back into her eyes and she saw a fear that she saw when he was younger. Their family will order me killed. They hate me enough and now they will definitely kill me, said Naruto. He was terrified. He didn't want people to find a reason to finally kill him after all these years. Let's get out of here, said Ino. She took his hand in hers and led him back to the shop. They reached the shop and they went up to her room. Naruto was still terrified. He hasn't been attacked in 2 years and he didn't want to give people a reason for them to hate him. But he just beat the crap out of the twins. He would surely feel their revenge. It was self-defense. They can't do anything to you, said Ino reassuringly. Naruto sat on her bed while Ino went to go get a first aid kit. But we can't prove it, said Naruto. Ino came back and Naruto took off his shirt. Normally Ino would be blushing at this, however there was a serious wound that needed to be covered. He was now shirtless and Ino went to inspect the cut. It was gone. She looked at him in shock and bewilderment. It's gone, she said. What is? Asked Naruto. The cut, it's not there. Ino said. Even though the slash wasn't life-threatening, it was still a slash from a kunai. There had to be at least some mark. Naruto panicked more than he was surprised. He seemed to heal relatively fast, which he learned from his years of torment and abuse. Well, that's just great. Now we have no way to show that we were actually trying to defend ourselves from them, Naruto said quickly. That took Ino's mind off it and reminded her about what would happen. She thought deeply and remembered something that was so obvious to her. She smacked herself after realizing. Sure we do. I'm a Yamanaka, remember? My family specializes in ninjutsu. We can easily see their memories if they accuse you of beating them up without a reason. Naruto smiled. He forgot about that. He hugged Ino, who was lying down on her bed after inspecting Naruto and finding him to be fine. He practically jumped on her body and gave her a big hug. Thank you so much, Ino, said Naruto, who continued to hug her. Ino was blushing like crazy. They were in a bed, with Naruto on top of her and shirtless. If her dad walked in, they'd be finished. Naruto continued to hug her and Ino felt like she was about to go nuts. However, Naruto finally let go of the blushing blonde. She was panting quickly. Naruto gave her an awkward look. Ino, you okay? Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I be? Said Ino quickly. Naruto laughed and gave her another quick hug. It was getting late, and he had to go. He put on his shirt and told her that he should go. Ino walked him to the door and said goodbye and thanks for saving her. She closed the door behind him and sighed. Oh dear, I'm falling for Naruto. Chapter 3 Trials. Things were hectic. After the twins attempted to jump Naruto and Ino, they went home and quickly started trouble. The head of the Makunuchi clan, Saiga Makunuchi, went straight to the Hokage tower to report his son's beatings. Lord Hokage, Saiga Makunuchi is here to see you, said an Umbu. Let him in, replied the Hokage. As Saiga was walking in, the Hokage lit his pipe filled with tobacco and took a large drag, inhaling the smoke into his old lungs. Lord Hokage, started Saiga as he bowed, I come here to announce that the demon child and the Yamanaka heiress has assaulted my children, leaving both with a broken nose and multiple other injuries. Really now? And also, never call Naruto a demon child again, said the Hokage. He raised an eyebrow while unleashing some killer intent. Saiga stepped back a bit and gulped. I want him executed for harming a Konoha Academy student. What about the Yamanaka heiress? Why press charges on Naruto but not her? Because he was the one that attacked them, said Saiga. His heart was beating fast. The Hokage hates it when people accuse Naruto for simply being Naruto. But you said earlier that the Yamanaka heiress also attacked your children, yet you're strictly putting the blame fully on Naruto? Questioned the Hokage menacingly. Alright then, I want to press charges against Ino Yamanaka as well, stated Saiga finally. Very well, we will have a trial 3 days from now. However, if you fail to prove that Naruto and Ino actually harmed your children out of their own will, things won't look good for you, said the Hokage. He took another drag of his tobacco-filled pipe and blew out a few rings. You may go now, Saiga. Saiga bowed and thanked him. He turned around quickly, but not before bumping into Kakashi Hatake. Everyone knew and respected Kakashi out of fear, or wishing to be like him. Saiga respected him due to the former. Kakashi stared at him before Saiga quickly apologized and left the room. So, another person wants to press charges on Naruto? Stated Kakashi. Yup, I hope that Naruto didn't finally go berserk and beat the kids out of anger, said the Hokage. The Hokage has known that Naruto has been harassed by the villagers for a long time, and has even hired high-level ninja to protect him. However, even some ninja hate Naruto as well. I doubt that's the case. Naruto indeed has been attacked his whole childhood, but he loves this village too much despite its major faults. He would never harm another unless under dire circumstances, said Kakashi. I know, Kakashi, I know, said the Hokage. He stared out the windows that viewed the whole village. Naruto, too many people hate him for something that he couldn't stop. If only he could tell everyone that he was the son of the legendary fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze. But it can't be done. Even Minato has more people that hate him than Naruto. He will call Naruto and Ino to his office later in the evening. Right now he has some important reading to do as he pulled out a secret novel from his desk. Meanwhile, Naruto and Ino were sitting in class listening to the boring lecture about the ninja rules. Everyone knows them, well they should know them. Ino was bored out of her mind and kept constantly daydreaming. She kept thinking about Naruto and how she feels. They have been best friends for years, but she has never felt this way about him. They have held each other numerous times. But yesterday, however, when Naruto hugged her on the bed, her heart skipped a few beats. It was probably because it was in an inappropriate place, and she blushed at the memory. She looked over towards Naruto, who sat next to her, and studied his features. Naruto has a cute, adorable face she just loves to pinch from time to time, and his body is well regular. He is only a 12-year-old boy after all. He hasn't been exercising enough to gain well-defined muscles yet. But in the future, she could only blush about how handsome Naruto would become. While she was still dreaming about Naruto, he turned to face her, only to see her staring right at him. Ino? Asked Naruto. Ino jumped up and fell out of her chair. The whole class stopped and stared. I'm okay, sorry, just leaned back too far, said Ino embarrassingly. The class turned back to the front, and she turned to Naruto and hit him. What was that for? For startling me. You were the one staring at me, said Naruto. Ino blushed and turned away to face the front. Baka, just pay attention, said Ino, before pinching his cute little cheeks. Okay, said Naruto. While Ino was paying attention to the front, Naruto took the time to stare at her. What the hell was her problem, he thought. Then he started to study her features. Ino was an attractive-looking girl to him. She had long blonde hair and light blue eyes. Her facial features are perfect as well. Naruto knew that she was going to be a beauty when she was older. Naruto started thinking about Ino more in detail now. He was a maturing boy and obviously, his hormones kicked in. Ino has been his best friend since that fateful day at the playground and never thought of her as something more. However, now that might change. The class finally finished with him still staring at her. This time, Ino turned around to catch Naruto. Naruto, class is over, said Ino. Instead of falling back like Ino, Naruto blinked and noticed that class was indeed over. Alright, stuttered Naruto. They both packed their belongings. Ino knew he was staring at her and blushed a bit. Her heart starting beating faster. What if he liked her too? Would they become a couple? Ino and Naruto were headed out the door when suddenly Iruka stopped them. Stop right there, you two, he said strictly. They both gulped and turned around. Alright, I know you two weren't paying attention, but I'm going to assume it's because you already know the rules. Of course, said Ino. Good, by the way, the Hokage wants to see you about an incident that occurred yesterday. It wasn't our fault, yelled Naruto. Naruto, I know, just tell the Hokage, said Iruka sympathetically. Naruto was in disbelief. He wasn't going to hurt him and blame him. Naruto just stood there in shock and Ino had to shake him back to reality. Okay, thanks Iruka, said Naruto as he and Ino made their way to the Hokage tower. Another person liked him, thought Naruto. Ino, her father, Kakashi, and Iruka. That's four. Naruto was happy with joy and Ino saw this. Naruto stopped grinning and let's hurry to the Hokage tower, said Ino. The blonde female playfully smacked him on the arm and smirked. Another race? You're on. Naruto replied quickly. I would, but I'm too tired, said Ino. Ah, okay, said Naruto. Ino hated to ruin his mood, so even though she was tired, she started sprinting. Hey, no fair, said Naruto. He quickly chased after her and caught up. They were both side by side now, running trying to beat each other. People groaned as they saw them coming their way. Not again. The same fruit cart driver tried to get out of their way, but Naruto, once again, jumped right through it. They were both getting tired from dodging left and right. Finally the tower was in view. They both looked at each other and smirked. I'm going to win, they both thought. Naruto tried to shove Ino, but Ino moved out of the way and shot forward. Naruto was shocked. Ino just beat him. He has been running his whole life from mobs and even ninja, and still Ino managed to beat him. You cheated, joked Naruto. I know, my beautiful looks distracted you, said Ino as she flipped her long blonde hair. Whatever, said Naruto as he blushed and headed inside. Ino giggled and followed him as they headed towards the Hokage's room. Lord Hokage, Naruto Uzumaki and Ino Yamanaka are here to see you, said the Anbu. Let them in. Naruto and Ino nervously walked into the room and jumped when it closed on them. So you probably know why you two are here. Let's hear your side of the story, started the Hokage. They attacked us first, yelled Naruto instantly. Naruto! Don't yell at the Hokage, said Naruto as she pinched his cheeks super hard. Okay, sorry. It's quite alright, Ino. Naruto just expressed his opinion, chuckled the Hokage. Thank you, Hokage-sama. Well, our side of the story is, and she told him exactly what happened. How they attacked them, and how Naruto tried to defend Ino and himself, and when Nuchi pulled out a kunai and slashed at Naruto, and how Naruto's wound healed quickly so they couldn't provide evidence. But they could allow someone to see their memories to prove the innocence. I see, so the twins did provoke you to fight. Along with using a shinobi weapon, stated the Hokage. He lit up his pipe again and took a toke. Yes, Hokage-sama, replied both of them. Well, at the trial I will let a mind reader read all of your minds, including the twins. For now you may go home and enjoy your days until the trials, the Hokage said after releasing smoke rings into the air. Thanks, old man, yelled Naruto. However, Ino dragged him out of the room right after. Kids these days, the Hokage chuckled to himself. Naruto and Ino walked out of the Hokage tower. I hope we win the trial, said Naruto as he walked with his hands stuffed into his pockets. Of course we will win. If they read our memories, how can we lose? Said Ino. She caught up to Naruto and walked alongside him. You're right, Ino. It's impossible for us to lose. Naruto was happy again and Ino smiled. It was only the afternoon and they still had so much time left to do whatever they want. Hey Ino, what do you want to do today? Asked Naruto. I'm not too sure actually. Let's keep on walking and see where it takes us. She let out a small laugh which caused Naruto to smile. He loves it when she laughs, so happy and innocent. They continued walking and chatting about random things like flowers, the day, and whatever came to their young minds. They especially kept on talking about the academy though, and how they just couldn't wait to graduate. But the conversation gloomed once they started talking about team selection. But what if we're not on the same team? Asked Naruto. The thought of Ino being on a separate team frightened him. He wouldn't be able to protect her, and what if her teammates weren't strong enough to do that? He dreaded the chance of them being on the same team. Ino's thoughts were similar. She grew up with Naruto, she couldn't dare to think about how it would be without him. Naruto, I'm sure we'll be on the same team. We just have to show how well we work together, and that will improve our chances. Said Ino. Sounds like a plan. Guess we should start now then. Naruto smirked at her. Ino raised her eyebrow. Just what was he thinking? What do you mean start? No, before she finished her sentence she ducked under a kick aimed for her face. What the hell, Naruto? She screamed. Oh, he was so going to pay. Ino, we have to be the best the ninjas this world has ever seen. I want to prove myself to everyone. And I can't leave you, so will you train with me? Said Naruto. He looked at her with fierce determination in his eyes. If you look closely, it's like there were flames dancing in them. Ino saw this. She knew that in order to be with Naruto now, she had to get stronger or Naruto will be forced to do hard missions and go through challenges without her. Alright, let's do this, she said as she got into her fighting position. Unknown to them, a certain masked ninja was watching from high from a tree. Chapter 4. Trial and Training. Days passed, and it was finally time for the trial. It took place in the council room and only the clan heads, council elders, and other specific shinobi were allowed. Naruto and Ino were standing in the center of the room looking around. Everyone was staring at them. All the high-level ninja were watching their every move. They both gulped and suddenly the doorway opened. Saiga Makanuchi and his sons walked in. Both with their broken noses and few bandages covering their wounds. Ino guessed that they decided to not have their wounds fully healed to show how much Naruto beat their ass. When they entered the center of the room, the Hokage stood, followed by everyone else in the room. We are here today to stand trial to the accused, Naruto Uzumaki, and Ino Yamanaka for their accused assault of academy students, the Makanuchi twins. Said the Hokage. All of the clan heads nodded. The most distinctive clans were the Naras led by Shikaku. Also the father of Shikamaru Nara, Haishur Hyuga, clan head of the Hyuga clan, Inoichi Yamanaka, Ino's father and clan head, as well as other strong clans of Konoha. Saiga, why have you wished to gather us all here? Started the Hokage. That demon brat and the Yamanaka heirs attacked my children and as you can see, broke bones and other severe injuries. Said Saiga, as he showed his children to the council. The council saw this and most were already on their side. Naruto was still hated by most of Konoha and that includes most clans. The few that accepted Naruto were the Naras, Yamanakas, Akimichis, and the Saratobis. They are training to be ninja, they should be used to getting hurt severely, stated Haishur in his normal menacing tone. Only if they were sparring, which they weren't. It is also against the rules to attack another ninja. Replied one of the lesser clan heads. Naruto, Ino, what do you say about this? Asked the Hokage. Naruto was about to yell but Ino quickly silenced him by putting her hand over his mouth. The Makanuchis claimed that me and Naruto attacked their heirs. But actually it is they that attacked us. They provoked us and were about to attack but Naruto reacted quickly and struck first. Said Ino. Makanuchi-san? Asked the Hokage, waiting for his refute. Liars! They attacked my sons out of nowhere. They also have no proof of what they claim. Yelled Saiga. Suddenly Inoichi rose. Lord Hokage, if I may? Asked Inoichi. The Hokage nodded at him to let him speak. First off, I will not sit back and watch you blame my daughter and Naruto when they are clearly innocent. They are not liars. I know most of you dislike Naruto but that doesn't mean that you should let that cloud your judgment of what is right and wrong, remember that. Saiga, if you please, in order to get the truth I will personally use my mind jutsus to find out what really happened. said Inoichi. The twins paled at this. They forgot that the Yamanakas can view memories and quickly turned to their father. Saiga stuttered for a moment. If they find out what really happened, his whole family would be removed in an instant. Well? Asked the Hokage. If you are telling the truth, then why stutter at his request? Be because we don't want him to view our personal memories, said Yuchi. My father is the head of my clan. He has the best control of our mind techniques, and can choose which memories to view to solve this trial easily without looking through personal ones, said Ino. You could see the triumph in her eyes. She was even cocky enough to let out a smirk. You may begin, Inoichi, said the Hokage. Inoichi nodded and walked up to the two boys. They were terrified but couldn't do anything about it. Inoichi put his hand on Nuchi's head and quickly shifted through the required memories. From the outside all you could see what Inoichi's face frowned in anger. When he finished he opened his eyes and almost killed Nuchi if it wasn't for Shikaku's shadow technique to hold him in place. Inoichi, what did you see? He asked. Inoichi was fuming with rage. These two sorry excuses for Konoha ninja planned on taking my daughter and even considered taking advantage of her body, he yelled. Inoichi was very protective of his one and only daughter. Everyone knew that. They planned on ganging up on Naruto first and have Ino to themselves and were about to attack when Naruto quickly dispatched of Yuchi by knocking him out. Naruto then attacked Nuchi until the twin pulled out a kunai. The council were talking with each other and things were going crazy. People were yelling everywhere. Suddenly the Hokage stood up. Silence, he yelled. The council quickly calmed down and returned to their seats. Saiga, what do you say to this? Your sons had plans to physically violate a fellow kunoichi and attempted to murder another ninja, said the Hokage, growling. Aye, he stuttered. Guilty, said Inoichi with fire in his eyes. Guilty, said the Naraus and Hyugas. Everyone else followed, including the Hokage. It is settled then. For plans to violate a citizen and attempt murder on another, the penalty is sentence to death. However, you could pay for their freedom. However, it will most likely cost all your wealth to save both your children. What do you wish to do? Asked the Hokage. Saiga went pale. His whole family fortune gone. What should he do? Should he save his children for their stupidity? Any father would most likely do that, but then again, he could always make more. Saiga thought long and hard. His children were appalled that their father actually had to consider about his decision. After 10 minutes of silence, the Hokage spoke up. Makonuchi-san, we don't have all day. Choose now or we will choose for you, Saiga finally decided. He looked up and faced all of the council. I love my two sons, however, this was their decision to do this, and it will not be brought down upon the family. Let them be executed, said Saiga with finality in his voice. The whole room was shocked. What father would willingly let his sons be executed? The Hokage was also shocked, however laws were laws. Alright then, the execution will happen in 2 days from now. Umbu. Take them to their cells, said the Hokage. And with a wave of his hand, he dismissed everyone. Naruto and Ino walked out of the council room. Right when they got out, Ino screamed and hugged Naruto. She was so happy until she realized that he wasn't hugging her back. Her heart stopped. What was wrong? She looked at his face and she almost broke apart. Tears were coming down his face. Naruto? What's wrong? Why are you crying? We won, said Ino. Naruto looked at her with teary eyes. It's my fault. They are going to die because of me, said Naruto. Even though they provoked him into fighting, he felt that it was his fault that they are going to die. Ino never thought about it that way. She knew they received sentence to death but never really thought about it. She looked at Naruto, who was still sniffling his tears. People get executed often, but they were only children. The deaths of their classmates because of them was too much to think about. Ino started to get tears in her eyes as well. There was only time for one tear to fall before Naruto embraced her. He held on to her as best and loving as he could. Ino hugged him back and let her tears go. Suddenly, they felt an extra pair of hands on their shoulders. They looked up to see the Hokage there. Naruto, Ino. Do not blame yourselves for their mistakes. They were the ones who started this, it had to be done. Who knows, Naruto, if you weren't there, what they would have done to Ino? Or if their target was someone else. It could have been worse, and they could have gotten away with it, said the Hokage. His words soothed the two kids. Naruto took the words to heart. He did it to defend Ino. It wasn't his fault, they brought it upon themselves. Thank you, Lord Hokage, that really helped, said Naruto as he rubbed his eyes. The Hokage was shocked. Naruto is never formal with him, even if he is Hokage. He let out his nice smile and patted Naruto on the head. Alright, Ino, I think we should head home, said Inoichi as he walked out, followed by Shikaku and Choza. Okay, Dad, replied Ino. She let go of Naruto. But is it okay with Naruto comes too? Of course, now let's go. Naruto and Ino said their goodbyes to the Hokage and followed Inoichi to the flower shop. The walk was silent. Once they reached the shop, Ino and Naruto quickly went upstairs to her room. They shut the door behind them and Ino let all her emotions out on her pillow. She sobbed and sobbed. The deaths of two 12-year-olds that she knew was too much for her. Naruto sat beside her on the bed and once again hugged her. Ino raised her head off the pillow and stared at Naruto. Their eyes met. Ino moved over on the bed a bit to let Naruto have enough room to lie down next to her. They lied on the bed together, just staring into each other's clear blue eyes. Ino's heart was beating fast. Oh my god, he's so close I can feel his breath, she thought. Naruto just stared into her eyes, not saying a word. Their feelings for each other strengthened the past few days, but Naruto didn't want her to get hurt because of him. Flashback. Holy, she's fast, thought Naruto as he dodged another kick aimed for his head. They begun to spar often after the talk during their walk. In order for them to become great ninjas, they have to train, and train. Naruto blocked a kick aimed for his sides, then quickly tried to sweep her off her feet. Ino jumped and once again, kicked at his face. Naruto couldn't block or dodge this. The kick landed and Naruto was sent sliding across the ground. He quickly got up and wiped the blood off his lip. The next thing he saw was a fist flying towards his face. From all the punches he received when he was younger, his instincts came in. He grabbed the arm and pulled it forward. Ino followed the arm and Naruto quickly threw her to the ground and landed on top of her with arm behind her back. They stopped for a minute to catch their breath. Ino was blushing yet again. Despite the fact that this was a spar, it still didn't stop their feelings for each other. Give up? Whispered Naruto into her ear. Ino blushed furiously and quickly got her arm out and rolled over, forcing them into a more inappropriate position. Naruto was now in between her legs and on top of her. This caused both of them to blush. Naruto was about to get off, but Ino held him there. Ino, what are you MMF? Said Naruto. But before he could finish, Ino grabbed his collar and pulled him in to kiss him. Naruto was shocked. He didn't know what was happening. After about 5 long seconds his mind calmed down and he slowly returned the kiss. They passionately kissed for a few more seconds before they released each other for air. Wow, was all Ino said. Yeah, agreed Naruto. That was so worth it, Ino said, still dazed. They sat there for a few moments. By now they were both sitting up and just staring into nothing. Ino, I don't think we should do this, Naruto said quietly. Ino was shocked. Her eyes widened. Slowly she looked up and met his eyes. What? Ino, I like you too, but we can't do this, Naruto said again. Ino's heart just shattered. She stared at him. I knew it. I knew this would happen. Damn it, Ino, why would you kiss him? Ino didn't know what to do. Why, we both like each other, we both know that. We also have been friends for years. Why, said Ino, about to burst into tears. Naruto quickly held her in his arms and said softly, Ino, I love you. I love you so much I don't want to hurt you or see you hurt. Please don't cry, Naruto said. He was about to cry as well. His voice started shaking and tears started to form in his eyes. I love you too. But if we love each other, why can't we be together? She said. Her tears have stopped for now. Ino, the village hates me. People are already starting to hate your family for just being around me. I don't know what I'd do if they attacked you to get at me, but we can avoid that, she said quickly. She wanted this to happen. No way was she going to let the village get in the way. No, if only I knew why they hated me, but I don't. No one will tell me. Naruto was quickly getting angry. The damn villagers. Why does everyone have to hate me so much? I've done nothing wrong. If only I wasn't hated, then that would be less troubling for Ino, Naruto said. Ino? He doesn't want this to happen because he doesn't want others to hate me too. Ino looked at him. Naruto, I love you. And flashback. Naruto stared into her light blue eyes. He remembered how he first met her at the park. How they ran away from other villagers. How they had been the closest of friends for the past 5 years. He finally decided. Ino, I started Naruto, but Ino quickly silenced him with a finger to his lips. I understand, Naruto, Ino quickly said. Ino didn't want him to apologize again for them not being together. She didn't want to hear it. No, you don't, said Naruto. Ino's eyes widened once she felt the lips on her own. Their lips were perfect for each other. They kissed for a long time. Finally they let go of each other. Naruto, does this mean? Asked Ino. Her eyes lit up. Yeah, you're mine and I'm yours. Chapter 5, Starry Night. The day has come for the execution. Most of the Makunuchi clan members attended. Few stayed home because they couldn't bear to see the twins killed. The execution was to take place in the execution room. The room was in the shape of a circle, with seats around the outside perimeter. The execution was to take place in the center of the room where a stage is placed. The people attending the execution sat down and waited patiently. The Hokage was not there to attend because he had other important matters to handle. 10 minutes passed of silence and anticipation. An Umbu escorted Nuchi and Yuchi to the center stage. Their hands were bound to their back with rope. They were merely children, so they didn't put them in chakra sealing binds. They made their way to the center stage, death coming closer to them with each step they took. Suddenly, Nuchi started trying to escape. Why, Dad, why are you letting us die? Screamed Nuchi. Tears streamed down his face. He screamed and started tossing and trying to run away from the Umbu, but it was no use. Saiga just stared in silence. Tears streaming down his face as well. He couldn't do anything, the decision was already made. He watched as Nuchi was dragged onto the seat in the center of the stage. I hate you, I hope you die. Only a monster would allow his own children to be killed. screamed Nuchi, still trying to break free, but an Umbu quickly tied his hands to the chair's arms. Nuchi stopped moving. He looked up and stared straight into his father's eyes. Saiga stared back with teary eyes. He wanted to run up and free his children, to take them home and talk about their day as always, but he could not. The executioner then stepped onto the stage. It was Ibiki Marino, the commanding officer of the Konoha torture and interrogation force. "We all know why we are here today, so I will not explain," said Ibiki loud and calm. He looked at Nuchi. Nuchi stared at him with eyes filled with grief and lack of sleep. Ibiki felt sympathy that this had to happen. He did not want to, but no one else would take the job, and as commander, he had to. He walked up to Nuchi to do the job quickly. Nuchi just stared at the ground, tears dripping off his face. He then looked back up, into the eyes of his soon-to-be killer. "Do it quickly," whispered Nuchi. Ibiki nodded. Silent execution jutsu. Ibiki did the needed hand signs and placed his hands on Nuchi's head and heart. The jutsu shuts down the brain and the heart so the victim feels no pain and is instantly dead. Nuchi's body slumped down. No one said a thing, nothing could be heard. An Umbu took Nuchi's body away while another put Yuchi on the chair. Yuchi hasn't said a word yet. He sat down and looked for his father in the seats. He found him staring at him with eyes drenched in tears. He felt nothing for his father now. Their eyes met. Saiga's with eyes of grief and sadness, Yuchi's with nothing. Suddenly his eyes flared. "Father, you will die a horrible death," he said. He spoke with harsh words, practically spitting them out. Ibiki tried to grab Yuchi's attention, but his head never wavered, just simply stared at his father. "I want my father to see how much I hate him before I die." He continued staring at his father with fire and hatred in his eyes. Ibiki nodded. "Silent execution jutsu," he said once again. And the last thing Saiga saw of his son alive was his hatred towards him. Naruto and Ino were sitting in class. They knew that today was the day of the execution, but they both didn't want to see it. They were both very glum, the whole class, and barely said a word. Only spoke when called upon the teacher. And sometimes they didn't even answer. Shikamaru and Choji tried to cheer them up, but nothing worked. Finally the class was over and everyone left. They got up to do the same, however Irika stopped them both once again. "Look guys," he said as he sighed, "I know what happened wasn't planned and no one expected it. But what happened happened. Don't dwell on it, death is a part of life, no matter how it happens." Irika then let them go. They didn't say a word to him, and walked out the doors. Inside it made them feel less sad, but very little. Death is still death. They walked out and saw Shikamaru and Chuji by the entrance seemingly waiting for them. "Ino, you've been our friend since day one. And we hate to see you like this, please stop acting all depressed. I don't know how you feel, but I know why you feel that way. What happened isn't your fault, stop dwelling over it," said Shikamaru. He has been friends with Ino since she was born. Being in the Nara clan, he was good friends with Ino and best friends with Chuji of the Akimichi clan. "Yeah, you know what Shikamaru said. It's not your fault, either is it yours, Naruto. Let's brighten this day up. Let's do something fun." "You guys can choose," exclaimed Chuji. He pumped his fist in the air. He was trying to brighten the mood up. "We can choose?" thought Naruto. He looked at Ino and smirked. She knew what he wanted to do. She let out a long sigh and shook her head. "All right then. Let's spar," screamed Naruto as he jumped up and down. Shikamaru and Chuji just stared at him. "That's what he wants to do for fun, spar?" Troublesome, muttered Shikamaru. Despite Chuji's and Shikamaru's reluctance, they walked to training ground 7 anyways to spar. "All right, I guess Ino is going to sit out and watch?" asked Shikamaru. "What? Just because I'm a girl you think I don't like fighting?" said Ino angrily. She let out a tiny bit of killer intent and made Shikamaru back up. No, not like that. I just thought that I'll just shut up." He put his head down in defeat. "Smart as always," said Naruto as he got into his fighting stance. They stood about 15 feet away from each other. Being in the academy, they all have sparred a couple times already and learned from their parents how to fight. "Ready?" asked Ino. "Yep," replied both Shikamaru and Chuji simultaneously. Naruto struck first. He leaped at Shikamaru and attacked him with an axe kick. Shikamaru quickly rose his hands in a cross to block the attack. While he blocked, Ino dashed forward to punch him in the stomach. Seeing this, Chuji got in the way and held her arm. Ino reacted on instinct and jumped up to kick him across the face. Chuji stumbled after receiving the hit and released her arm. Seeing the opening, she quickly ran and threw an uppercut. Chuji's head reeled back, but he quickly recovered. He whipped the blood off his mouth and smirked. I'm guessing you've been practicing, huh?" he said while he spat out some blood. He then got back into his fighting stance. Meanwhile, Naruto and Shikamaru were exchanged attacks. Naruto dropped and tried to sweep his legs out, only for Shikamaru to jump and kick him in the face. Naruto did a backhand flip and recovered. They stared at each other. Naruto then saw Ino come flying towards him, and he quickly caught her. "Thanks, baby," said Ino and kissed him quickly. Chuji playfully gagged at the sight. Naruto and Ino both stood side by side watching the duo in front of them. They quickly whispered to each other and made a plan. Shikamaru and Chuji just stood there waiting for them to strike. The couple finished with their strategy and stood up to face them. Naruto ran at Shikamaru while Ino ran towards Chuji. Naruto jumped and kicked at Shikamaru once again, while Ino ran to the left side of Chuji and attempted to kick his side. Shikamaru raised his arms in a cross once again to defend himself. Naruto smirked. He had hoped he did that. He kicked off of his arms and used the lift to fly towards Chuji, who was currently blocking Ino's kick on the opposite side of him. Chuji, look out! Chuji turned just in time to see a foot. Naruto's attack landed and Chuji was out cold. It was now 2 against 1. Shikamaru was shocked. He didn't think Naruto would do that. Shikamaru looked back at Naruto and Ino and got into his fighting stance. Normally he would wait for them to attack, but he couldn't take the risk seeing their teamwork amazingly good for a bunch of academy students. He charged at Ino first and raised his arm to strike, but suddenly Naruto jumped in front and blocked the attack. Ino then came around and kicked at Shikamaru's side. Shikamaru quickly ducked under it, causing Ino to miss and fly over him because of her momentum. Shikamaru then threw a left uppercut at Naruto. Naruto was busy blocking his right arm and did not see the left come up to hit him in the stomach. Ino quickly fixed herself after her failed kick. She saw Shikamaru punch Naruto in the stomach. Seeing Shikamaru open at the side, she rushed up to try and hit him. Shikamaru reacted surprisingly quick and kicked her away. Shikamaru didn't mean to kick her that hard. Ino was sent rolling backwards and with the wind knocked out of her. He was about to check if she was alright but suddenly felt a cold glare. He turned his head only to see Naruto's eyes right in front of him. Shikamaru quickly swung at his face but Naruto ducked under it and swept him off his feet. Shikamaru fell to the ground with a thump and looked up to see Naruto on top of him, fist posed for the finishing strike. I give up? Asked Shikamaru with fear. Naruto stared at him but quickly smiled. Alright, he said and got off Shikamaru. He helped him but Shikamaru was still shaky. Suddenly Ino came running at the both of them. Naruto, we won! She yelled. She ran at Naruto and jumped up and hugged him. Yeah, we did. Are you okay? He asked with worry in his voice. Of course, it was only a kick. A strong one, but still only a kick, she said, no need to worry. She gave him a kiss and saw Shikamaru go help Chuji up. Well, I never thought that we would have lost. I'm guessing you guys have been training often, huh? Said Shikamaru. You got that right, Shika. Me and Naruto are going to be awesome ninja. She yelled with triumph. She quickly kissed Naruto once again. Whatever, training is so troublesome, said Shikamaru lazily as always. Well, I guess I'm going to have to drag Chuji home now. You two have fun. Later. Bye, Shikamaru. They both said. Shikamaru started to walk off with Chuji slung over his shoulder. Suddenly Naruto yelled out to him. Hey, Shikamaru! He yelled. Shikamaru turned around and looked at him. Thanks for cheering us up today, you really helped out a lot. Shikamaru simply smirked and waved his hand. He continued on his way with Chuji. Well, now what? Said Naruto. Ino got into a thinking pose. Let's go for lunch, said Ino. Naruto smiled at her and held her hand. Good call, I'm starving. Unknown to them, a certain masked ninja was watching them. Before they could notice him in the trees and disappeared. Unknown to them, a certain masked ninja was watching them. Before they could notice him in the trees and disappeared. Hokage-sama. Kakashi, what brings you here? Said the Hokage. I want to take Naruto as an apprentice. Approved. Said the Hokage. What? You don't need a reason? Asked Kakashi surprised. I've assigned you to watch Naruto these past years and even when I didn't you still watched over him. Most people still hate him too. I was planning on asking you at a later date to see if you wanted to be his sensei, but looks like you beat me to it. Said the Hokage happily. Thank you, Hokage-sama. Kakashi turned to leave but the Hokage stopped him. Wait, Jiraiya will be here in a month or so to check up on things. He will probably want to check on Naruto as well, he said. Thanks for the heads up. And with that, Kakashi left to go find Naruto. The sun was now down and the moon took its place. After spending the day with Naruto, Ino went home and just relaxed. She took a hot shower, relaxing in the heat and letting the warmth comfort her. She has just finished putting on her pajamas when suddenly she heard a knock from her window. She hesitated at first, startled by the noise, but went towards it. The knocking got faster and quieter. Seeing the silhouette of the person behind her window curtain, she realized that it was just Naruto. Naruto, what are you doing here? Said Ino as she opened the window. I want to show you something, come on. He extended his hand out toward her. Ino took it and he pulled her out. The air was still warm. Thank God it was summer. Where are we going? She asked. They were walking down the streets with their hands interlocked. You'll see, said Naruto with a smile. Ino just smiled and followed him. After about 20 minutes they reached a giant hill. Ino looked up and smirked. She turned to Naruto and put on her puppy dog face. Naruto, my feet hurt, and it's a long climb, whimpered Ino. Naruto smiled and laughed at her. Well then, he said. Naruto let Ino climb onto his back. Once she was settled and comfortable, she gave him a quick peck on the cheek. Naruto smiled and walked up the big hill. The walk was shorter than it seemed to be when they finally reached the top. Ino smiled and laughed at the sight. There on the ground was a big tarp to lie down on, and some blankets. Naruto, what's this for? It wasn't all that fancy, but Ino felt so warm and fuzzy inside thinking about how Naruto came here earlier and set this up. It's for you obviously, he said as he kissed her passionately on the lips. They made their way to the tarp and lied down. They started kissing each other, each person not letting this moment go to waste. They finally stopped for a breath. You know, we could have just done this in my room instead of out here, said Ino as she kissed him again. Yeah, I know, but we wouldn't have been able to see this. See what? She asked. Naruto simply pointed up. Ino turned her head and marveled at the sky. It was clear, no clouds blocking their view. All the stars were out and the moon was shining in its full glory. She simply just stared at all the stars out on display. Each star twinkled in its own way. Naruto put his arm around her and held her close to him. It's so beautiful, she whispered. Yeah, but not as beautiful as you, Naruto whispered back. Ino turned to meet his blue eyes looking right into hers. Ino suddenly jumped him and kissed him again, this time with so much passion that it seemed they would suffocate each other. After their intimate kissing session they settled down and just stared up into the night sky. Naruto, I've said this already, but this time I really mean it, said Ino softly as she continued to stare at the starry night. I love you too, Ino, said Naruto. He suddenly got up and took her hand. Naruto? Ino, my whole life has been miserable since the day I can remember. I've been beaten, stabbed, yelled at, and other horrible things by people I don't even know, and reasons that were never told to me. That day that I met you at the playground when we were little was the happiest day of my life. You were my first and only friend. Ino, I know we're still young, but when we're older, will you marry me? He said. Naruto just stared straight into her shocked and teary blue eyes. He knew they were still too young to think about marriage, but they were going to be ninja. And who knows when they might die. He was planning on asking her much later, but tonight just felt right. He waited for Ino's answer patiently. Naruto started. Ino. Yeah? Replied Naruto. Ino then shot up and took his lips with hers. They stayed like that for a very long time. Naruto, I will marry you. A shooting star sailed through the sky at that exact same time. Chapter 6, Apprentices. A week has passed since that fateful night. Naruto awoke from a rather awkward dream involving him and Ino. He got up from his bed and followed his regular morning routines. He showered, changed, and ate breakfast. Content with his breakfast, he walked out his apartment that was now clean and almost spotless. Ino came over to his house plenty of times and got quite annoyed at all the garbage all over the place. She scolded him for being so messy and cleaned up. Naruto refused to let her do the work, but Ino insisted that as a good girlfriend she should help him out. She was also really persuasive with her lips. Like always, Naruto first went to Ino's house to walk with her to the academy. He reached her house and knocked on the door. After a couple moments, Ino came rushing out. Bye, Dad! She yelled. She quickly closed the door behind her and grabbed Naruto's arm, swinging him around towards the direction of the academy. Ino, why are you in such a hurry? He asked, bewildered. They were walking at a very fast pace. Because she said? Naruto stared at her and raised an eyebrow. He was about to reply when suddenly Inoichi's voice was heard. I know, come on Naruto, she said as she started running. Naruto followed her, and they sprinted down the streets, not slowing down at all. It reminded Naruto of their first time heading to the academy. They dodged people going left and right, and once again, the same fruit cart owner had a heart attack as Naruto jumped over it. They continued running till they reached the academy. When they finally reached it, they stopped. Ino, what the hell did you do this time? Let's just say that pink doesn't look good on my father, she said, slightly embarrassed. Naruto looked at her with eyes wide. What did you do? Honestly, I have no clue. I was doing the laundry and some of it came out pink, including his jounin shirt, she said, still embarrassed. Naruto stared at her, and then suddenly started laughed out loud. He was laughing so hard tears streamed down his face, and he was on the ground rolling. Ino, this is why I love you, he said as he got back up and kissed her. He clasped her hand in his and walked into the academy. They walked in and took their seats as always and got ready for another lesson. Okay class, get ready for today's lesson. Today we're going to study combat strategies, announced Irika. Class was finally over and one by one everyone left. Ino and Naruto walked out hand in hand. So Ino, what do you want to do today? Asked Naruto as they walked out the doors of the academy. Well, I'm still exhausted from the training we did yesterday, so how about we take a day to relax? She suggested. That sounds like a great idea, said Naruto. What do you have in mind? How about we go to our special place and have a picnic or something? After Naruto took her to the hill that one night, Ino started calling it their special place. Sure. Let's head to my apartment to grab some things. Naruto and Ino walked towards Naruto's apartment talking about random things. Finally they reached it. They noticed that the door was unlocked. They walked into the apartment with Naruto taking the lead, ready to attack anyone who entered his apartment. Oh, hey Kakashi, said Naruto. Ino walked in behind him and jumped when she saw Kakashi sitting on his couch reading an orange novel. Yo, replied Kakashi, still reading. Can you please not read that in front of Ino, said Naruto, shaking his head. Kakashi looked up at the blonde female. Oh, so this is your girlfriend. Nice to meet you, I'm Kakashi Hatake. Kakashi casually waved at Ino while putting his book away into his back pocket. Hi, she replied. She quickly turned to Naruto and whispered to him, who is this guy? Oh, Kakashi is a jounin. He's been taking care of me since about the day I first met you. You never met him before because he's usually busy and he checks up on me on random times, said Naruto. He didn't want to get into the specific details of how he first met Kakashi because that day still haunted his memories. Ino stared at Kakashi in awe. She knows that Naruto is hated on by almost everyone in the village. To see that this ninja is one of the few shocked her. She was also so happy to find that another ninja doesn't hate Naruto. I see, hello Kakashi. Thanks for taking care of Naruto all these years, glad to finally meet you, she said happily. Kakashi smiled and walked towards them. It wasn't a problem, but I'd like to thank you more. You've helped Naruto more than I have, said Kakashi. Ino blushed at his words and nodded. So Kakashi, besides from randomly barging into my house again to give me groceries, which I thank you for. What's up? Naruto viewed Kakashi as an older brother that he barely gets to see. Kakashi is always there for him and takes care of him. Kakashi stared at Naruto with serious eyes. Naruto knew something important was about to come out of the words of Kakashi's hidden mouth. Naruto, last week I saw your small fight with Shikamaru and Shuji. And I must say I'm impressed with both of you, said Kakashi looking at both Naruto and Ino. Naruto's eyes widened at this. How did he see them? I saw you guys from above a tree and watched. I'm not surprised you guys didn't see me, he said, answering Naruto's thought. As I said, I'm impressed. You two easily have great teamwork, and you can probably easily defeat a genin despite being academy students and learning just the basics so far. I already spoke to the Hokage about this, but I want you to be my apprentice. Naruto's eyes lit up. He wanted him as an apprentice? He never thought about Kakashi being his sensei. Naruto jumped up and down and hugged Ino, wrapping his arms around her small frame. He was about to voice his answer but then stopped himself. Wait, what about Ino? He thought. He stared into her eyes as he thought back to when they promised each other to be the best ninjas in history. Naruto looked back at Kakashi still holding Ino. What about Ino? He asked. It was Ino's turn to be shocked. Why would Naruto ask that? What about her? Replied Kakashi. Me and Ino promised each other to be on the same squad if possible and to train to achieve that goal and be the best ninja in the world. If I can't be with Ino then I have to refuse. I can't think about the thought of not being able to watch over her while we are on a mission. I have to be there for her, said Naruto with determination in his eyes. Ino stared at him. This was Naruto's chance to become a great ninja, and he is willing to turn it down just for her. Naruto, it's okay, she said. But Naruto shook his head. No, Ino, you're too precious to me. If you were sent on a mission that could endanger your life and I wasn't there to protect you, I don't know what I'd do, said Naruto as he held her hands and looked her into her beautiful bright blue eyes. Kakashi sighed and stared the two love-struck kids. Looks like it can't be helped. I never thought about this, so I will have to ask permission from the Hokage to see if he will allow it, as well as Inoichi, said Kakashi. Please Kakashi, try your best, said Naruto. Alright, no need to give me those puppy eyes. I'll see what I can do. I'll come to you again soon, have fun you two, and with that, Kakashi disappeared from the room. Naruto, I love you, said Ino as she wrapped her arms around him and pulled him into a kiss. I love you too, Ino, he smiled. They grabbed all the necessary things for a picnic and headed out the door. Just as Kakashi promised, he went to Inoichi to ask for his permission if he can be Ino's sensei. He walked to the Yamanaka flower shop and stepped inside. Inoichi looked up at the sound of the door bell ringing, signaling a customer to see Kakashi walking in. Kakashi, what are you doing here? He asked. He knew that Kakashi wouldn't be here to buy flowers. Hey old friend, I am here seeking permission to see if you will allow me to be Ino's sensei, answered Kakashi. Inoichi gave him a nod, knowing the reason why. It was quite obvious that Kakashi would be Naruto's sensei, and he also thought about the fact that Naruto and Ino wouldn't want to be separated. However, despite that, he wanted his daughter to be in Shikaku's and Chizu's squad to recreate the Ino Shikacho. I'm not sure Kakashi, I know that you're an extraordinary ninja and you would probably be a great sensei for Ino, but we all know about the Ino Shikacho tradition, he stated. I am aware of that. It is your call, however. All I will say is that Ino really wants to be with Naruto. Talk to her about it, then give me an answer. Kakashi smiled at him and turned around to leave. Inoichi leaned onto the cashier counter and thought about this situation. Meanwhile, Naruto and Ino reached their special hill. They both set out the picnic cloth on the ground and placed everything down. Naruto lied down on the cloth and stared up into the sky, watching the clouds drift carelessly. Ino took this opportunity to jump on top of Naruto or straddle his legs. Naruto looked up into her blue eyes and realized they matched the same color as the sky. You're beautiful, he whispered. Ino smiled and leaned down to kiss him on the lips. They kissed each other for quite some time until suddenly, Naruto's stomach growled. Looks like someone is hungry, giggled Ino. Yep. Guess we should actually eat now, replied Naruto. He went to grab some food, but suddenly a hand came and grabbed his wrist to stop him. "Nope," said Ino, and she continued kissing him. Naruto eventually gave in and kissed back. After their picnic, Naruto walked Ino home. They kissed and said their goodbyes. Ino entered her home to see her father sitting on the couch clearly thinking about something. "Dad, what's wrong?" she asked. "Besides the pink shirts, Kakashi came to me earlier today and asked me a serious question," replied her father. He got up and walked to his daughter. He stared her in the eyes and smiled. He put her hand on her shoulders. "Ino, do you want to be with Naruto and train under Kakashi officially?" he asked. Ino looked back into her father's eyes with a look of determination that rivaled Naruto's. "Yes," replied Ino. Inoichi let out a sigh and gave his daughter a hug. Guess the Ino Shikacho trio would have to skip this generation. The next day was another ordinary day. Naruto woke up, showered, ate breakfast, and went to go pick up Ino for the academy. The lesson flew by quicker than expected, and Shikamaru, Chuji, Ino and Naruto were all eating lunch in a field. "So you two, how have things been?" asked Chuji as he stuffed his face with chips. "Great," said Ino with enthusiasm. She leaned into Naruto and rested on his shoulder. "Girlfriends are too troublesome," muttered Shikamaru. Ino gave him a death glare which caused him to gulp. "You got that right," said Naruto. Everyone stared at him, especially Ino, who got up from his shoulder. He felt a cold tingle shiver down his spine. Just kidding, Ino, I love you," said Naruto. Ino sighed contently and rested her head on his shoulder once again. Suddenly a gust of wind blew around them and Kakashi appeared before them. "Yo," he simply waved his hand. "Kakashi! What are you doing here?" asked Naruto. The students all stared at him in question. "So Ino, what did your father say?" asked Kakashi. Naruto forgot about what Kakashi asked yesterday and looked at Ino in hope. "He said yes," she said with a smile. Naruto jumped and cheered. He picked up Ino and started to swing her around and around. He was so happy. Ino would be by his side, and he would be trained to be an awesome ninja. "I've already spoken to the Hokage as well, it's official, you two are now my apprentices," said Kakashi with a smile. But suddenly his face turned serious. "For now on, this will be your schedule. As always, you will go to the academy, and do everything as normal, except the taijutsu and ninjutsu training. That part will be left to me. Right after the lessons we will meet at my special training grounds, and we will start from there. Understood? Great. See you tomorrow." And with that, he once again vanished. Shikamaru and Chuji were still lost for what just happened. "Care to explain what just happened?" asked Shikamaru. He raised an eyebrow at the couple. "Well, we are now going to be under Kakashi-sensei's training," said Naruto as he jumped up and down. "What about the academy and the squads?" asked Chuji. "I'm assuming we're going to be a special group since we're both being taught specially," said Ino. Naruto was so excited he couldn't wait. Ino sighed at his enthusiasm. "So no Ino Shikacho then," said Shikamaru as he yawned. I was looking forward to continuing that," said Chuji. Ino felt somewhat bad for not being able to continue the tradition. "I'm sorry guys, but this is really important for me," said Ino. We know. "Just promise to be super awesome, the both of you," said Shikamaru. "We promise," said the couple in unison. Troublesome. Chapter 7. First Day of Hell. Blue eyes opened slowly as they tried to see through the brightness that suddenly entered them. Struggling, Naruto climbed out of bed. "Today's the day," he thought as he walked to the shower, taking off his clothes on the way. Naruto once again walked to Ino's home after his breakfast to pick her up for the walk to the academy. He reached her house to find her already sitting on her front steps waiting for him. "Hey Ino!" said Naruto as he walked towards her. "Morning Naruto," replied Ino as she walked up to hug him. They interlocked hands and walked to the academy. "So, ready for today?" asked Ino. Naruto grinned at her. "Of course I am. I've been waiting for this day since ever." Ino giggled at his enthusiasm. She loved seeing Naruto so happy. It made her day a whole lot better. Suddenly, a man rushed past them, almost hitting Ino if it wasn't for Naruto pulling her towards him to get out of his way. "Hey, stop that man, he took my money!" screamed a civilian. Naruto quickly locked eyes with Ino. They knew what to do. They quickly let go of each other's hands and ran after the thief. The thief was fast and already had quite the distance on them. However, they were training ninjas and no civilian would be able to outrun them. "Hey, get back here!" yelled Naruto as he and Ino chased after him. The thief turned around and starting to increase his pace. Irritated, Naruto quickened his pace as well. The man was about 100 meters in front of him. The thief just kept on going and going non-stop. It didn't seem like this guy could get tired. "No way am I letting this guy get away." Naruto suddenly burst forward with a yellow flash, quickly catching up to the thief. The man looked back and all he saw was a yellow flash running after him. Naruto grinned at the look on the thief's face as he tackled him when he was within distance. They collided and tumbled and rolled for a couple feet before they stopped with Naruto on top of him. "Get the fuck off me, kid," said the thief as he tried to push Naruto off. "Not until you give me back the money you stole," said Naruto. They struggled and tugged at each other. The thief got desperate and started to throw punches at Naruto. Reacting on instinct, Naruto moved his head out of the way, pulling his fist back at the same time and unleashing it onto the thief's face. The thief screamed in agony and held his broken nose in pain. Ino finally caught up to them. At the same time, a ninja smoking a cigarette appeared. "Sir, this thief stole a civilian's money and started running away," said Ino. Naruto got off and agreed with her. The smoking ninja looked at the kids. He has seen the thief running after he stole the money and was about to give pursuit until he saw the two running after him first. He thought he should see how they do, and they surprised him. "I see that, good job you two, what are your names?" asked the smoking ninja. "I'm Ino Yamanaka, and this is Naruto Uzumaki," replied Ino as she pointed to the other blonde. "Good to meet you too, I'm Asuma Sarutobi," he replied. Naruto quickly caught the last name, and his eyes widened in awe. "You're related to the old man?" he yelled in surprise. This earned him a punch by Ino. Asuma laughed at the scene. "Yes, now I have to take this guy away. Maybe if I see you again we can talk if you want," said Asuma. He took the cigarette out of his mouth and threw onto the ground, stomping on it with his foot. He picked up the thief and grabbed the money out of his pockets. He threw the wad of cash to Naruto, who caught it. And with that, he teleported away in a blow of leaves. Naruto and Ino smiled and began to walk back towards the academy when suddenly the civilian caught up to them. "Thank you, you don't know how happy I am," thanked the old civilian. "No problem, miss." "It was nothing," said Naruto. Suddenly, the old civilian turned towards him and glared with eyes of hatred. Naruto looked into her eyes and gasped, You demon brat. "It was probably your demon influence that made that guy rob me," said the civilian. Ino was shocked at what she just heard. Naruto just saved her money, and she thinks it was his fault. Ino couldn't stand for this. "Hey you bitch! Naruto just saved your damn money and now you are blaming him? You should be ashamed of yourself. He is a hero," defended Ino. The lady then turned her glare onto Ino. "Excuse me? Respect your elders, young lady. This demon is the cause for all things evil." Naruto just looked down and started to walk away slowly. "Come on Ino, let's just go," he said, barely a whisper. Ino was suddenly furious at the lady. Naruto was so happy today, and now she just took that all away. Ino thought quickly. She turned back to the lady and walked towards her. She smiled up at the lady. The civilian was confused about what she was doing. Suddenly it felt very cold. "Let's go Naruto," she said as she took his hand in hers and started running. The old lady just stared in confusion. When it suddenly hit her, she was naked. In the streets, she screamed in embarrassment, and cursed the two children running away from her. Naruto and Ino reached the academy. "That was funny Ino, thank you babe," said Naruto as he kissed her on the lips. "It was nothing," replied Ino smiling. That kiss made her feel tingly inside again. They entered the academy and took their regular seats as always, ready for another boring lesson. Right as they took their seats they heard snickering from behind them. Ino turned around to see Sakura laughing at her. "What's so funny, Pinky?" asked Ino, putting on a fake smile. "The fact that you're with that loser," replied the pink-haired girl as she pointed at Naruto. "What did you say about Naruto?" threatened Ino as she stood up from her seat, ready to punch Sakura in the face. "You heard me, he's a loser, not like Sasuke who is so cool," said Sakura, turning all fangirl. Sakura started fanning her face with her hand and sighing. "Sasuke?" Ino turned to the window to see a dark-haired boy staring outside the window. He had a duck-shaped hairstyle and looked like he had the emotions of a rock. "What the hell is so cool about him?" said Naruto as he also looked at the boy. "He's so mysterious and awesome, he's also the best in the class, remember," replied Sakura as she sighed looking at him. This time it was Naruto and Ino's turn to laugh. "What's so funny?" snarled Sakura. "Best in the class, not for long," said Ino. She then told Sakura of how they are getting special training by an awesome jounin. Sakura stared at them in shock. It was rare for someone to be put under apprenticeship while they were still in the academy, and it was even more rare for two people. Iruka then entered the class and everyone shushed down. "Morning class, today we'll be learning," and that was the start of yet another boring academy lesson. Right after the lesson they were given permission to not do the taijutsu and ninjutsu training. The whole class complained at this till Iruka explained what the reason was for them leaving. This kept Sasuke intrigued about the two blondes. Naruto and Ino quickly went to Kakashi's special training ground. There they sat down on a couple boulders and waited and waited and waited. After about 2.5 hours of waiting, Naruto couldn't take it anymore. "Where the hell is he?" screamed Naruto in frustration. Ino was just as mad, but she held it in a bit longer. "Maybe we should just leave," suggested Ino. Naruto nodded and started to walk away. Suddenly he was kicked from behind and landed face first into the ground. "What the?" he thought. He got up and turned to see Kakashi standing there reading his porn. "Where the hell were you?" said Naruto in anger, also rubbing his face in pain. Kakashi stared at him as if he was on time. "I was here the whole time, atop that tree," said Kakashi as he pointed to the tree that was right above where they were sitting. This caused Ino and Naruto's eyes to twitch. "You were here this whole 2 hours and didn't do anything?" asked Naruto. Kakashi simply nodded his head and went back to reading his book. Naruto could not hold it in anymore and charged at the masked ninja. Kakashi simply ducked and uppercut the blonde as if it was nothing while still reading his book. I guess taijutsu training starts now? Asked Ino as she got into her fighting stance. Kakashi looked at her and smiled, while jumping over a kick from Naruto and returning his own kick to the face. After about 4 hours of getting their asses kicked, they finally stopped. Kakashi was now reading another one of his novels that he pulled out of his back pocket about 2 hours earlier. Naruto was bent over gasping for air and drenched with sweat. Ino was also doing the same but with her hands behind her head. That was good, you two, you almost hit me once, said Kakashi smiling. Why you be bastard, gasped Naruto, still trying to breathe easily. Kakashi, still smiling, went up to them and handed them water bottles that he seemingly pulled out of nowhere. They greedily took them and gobbled all the soothing cool liquid down their throats. Well, now what? Asked Ino. We're done for today, remember to come back tomorrow, replied Kakashi, and with that he jumped away. The two just stared at where he just was. I'm really starting to dislike him, said Naruto. Yep, what now? Said Ino. Naruto thought for a bit before he took a breath in through his nose. I stink, said Naruto as he took off his sweat-drenched shirt. Ino just stared at him. She has seen him shirtless before when tending to his injuries, but never saw him like this, drenched in sweat with all of his muscles strained and showing, as well with his hair slightly damped. Ino didn't reply and just simply stared. Naruto noticed the silence and looked at her. He smirked, realizing she was staring at his body. Ino looked up and realized that he was staring at her and smiling. Well, you're hot. Thanks, babe. Well, what do you want to do? Asked Naruto. Ino thought about it for a while. How about going for a swim? Suggested Ino. Alright, replied Naruto. Ino started to take off her shirt, while Naruto blushed and stared. Ino quickly caught this and started to slowly raise it over her head. The sight was too much for Naruto, and he couldn't keep his hormones in check. Ino saw this and laughed at him hysterically. Oh, Naruto, you'll get the chance eventually, said Ino with a wink. Oh, she was such a tease. She then took off her skirt, and all she was wearing was her training bra and black spandex. She then took off towards the river that ran through the training ground and jumped in. Naruto quickly followed suit and did a cannonball into the water. They swam around for a bit, enjoying each other's company. After a bit of splashing each other back and forth, a figure appeared before them standing on top of the river surface. Kakashi? What are you doing here? I thought we were done, asked Naruto with a look of worry on his face. Yeah, we were done, but now we're starting again, said Kakashi with a smile. Naruto and Ino looked at him with anger. They just got trained for 4 hours straight, and now he wants to train again. I refuse, said Naruto as he crossed his arms over his chest and turned the other way. Suddenly, he felt as if he was about to die. He slowly turned his head back towards Kakashi. Excuse me? You refuse? Said Kakashi. Yes, we refuse. Now let us relax, said Ino. Same with Naruto, she was not ready for another training session. They just stopped about half an hour ago too. Kakashi was about to turn to Ino and give her his death stare, but suddenly stopped. Okay, I see. So you don't want me as your sensei. I understand. Have fun being common ninja, and good luck in the future, said Kakashi. He started to walk back to the shore, but suddenly someone grabbed his pant leg. He looked down to see Naruto pulling on him. Kakashi-sensei, I'm sorry I spoke out. Please keep training us, we'll learn to cooperate. Right, Ino? Said Naruto. He quickly remembered the day they were attacked by the twins. He made a vow to become stronger to protect his loved ones. He was tired, hell-fucking exhausted. But he had to do this. Ino looked at him and saw that same determination in his eyes that she has seen a couple times. Yes, Kakashi-sensei, I am sorry. Please keep training us, she sighed. This was going to be a long day. After 2 more hours sparring and getting their asses kicked yet again, they stopped when Kakashi threw both of them into the river. Alright, you two, now we're done for today. Go home and sleep. Tomorrow the real training starts, Kakashi said slyly. He then once again teleported, and hopefully this time for good. That wasn't even real training yet? Groaned Naruto. Naruto and Ino both climbed out of the river drenched with sweat and water. They both immediately started looking around to see if Kakashi was really done or not. After double-checking each tree or hiding place within their view, they sighed. They were sore all over the place from being kicked, punched, and landing hard on the ground. They quickly got their clothes on and started to make the long trek home. Now I know what hell feels like, said Ino as she walked, or rather limped. I know, thank God it's finally over though, replied Naruto. He turned his head to see Ino looking as if she was about to collapse. Naruto quickly caught her before she did, however. Ino, you alright? Said Naruto with a worried voice. Why yeah, just super tired, thanks Naruto, she replied back with a kiss. Naruto smiled and put her arm around his shoulders. He helped walk her home. Luckily it wasn't that far away from where they currently were, so it only took about 10 minutes. They finally reached her house and released each other. Well, guess I'll be seeing you tomorrow, said Naruto as he kissed her goodbye. He was about to turn around and walk away, but Ino stopped him. Wait, you can stay over here for tonight. We both know you're too tired to walk home, and I'm sure my father wouldn't mind, said Ino. Sure. Okay then, Naruto replied as he and Ino both stepped inside. Chapter 8. Powers? Training has been difficult for the two blondes over the past month. They were taught how to finally mold chakra and do basic jutsus. Their day now consisted of going to the academy to continue learning, leaving immediately after to Kakashi's training grounds, or as they call it, Hell on Earth. Each day was 2-3 hours of taijutsu training and 3 hours of chakra control. And that was just what was needed to be done each day. Kakashi would normally add more training on top of those mandatory ones. However, due to this schedule, they were already well ahead of the other academy students. Getting better, you have to learn to read the enemy's movements and predict what they are about to do, before they do it, said Kakashi as he threw a punch to Ino's face. The blonde quickly raised her arms to block the incoming attack. She then retaliated with a punch of her own, followed up by a left leg sweep. Good Ino, that's enough for now. Naruto, it's your turn, said Kakashi. Ino nodded and walked off to continue with other training as Naruto stepped up to face his sensei. Ready to lose, Kakashi-sensei? He asked as he got into his fighting stance. Kakashi smirked at his remark. You say that every time, but it always ends with you eating your words. Naruto frowned and charged forward. He and Ino have been taught a special taijutsu style that allowed them to quickly attack and defend. Naruto jumped up and launched a kick aimed for his sensei's face. Kakashi blocked this with his raised forearm and threw a punch at Naruto's midsection. Naruto quickly knocked the punch aside with his arm, and jumped back to create some distance between them. He stood holding his stance waiting for Kakashi to attack. Kakashi smirked and ran towards him. Kakashi threw a right hook. Naruto easily saw this coming and dodged by ducking down but did not expect to see a knee flying towards his face. Naruto's head reeled back from the impact. Kakashi followed through with a punch to Naruto's stomach. Naruto's eyes went wide as he gasped from the impact and fell to the floor. Get up, Naruto, said Kakashi. However, Naruto didn't move. Are you going to give up? I thought you were going to beat me. What happened to you being one of the best shinobis the world has ever seen? Naruto slowly pushed himself up. His arms limped to his sides as he slowly looked up at his sensei. Kakashi inspected him. Their eyes met and Kakashi's widened. Naruto's pupils were bright yellow, looking as if they were glowing. Suddenly, in a bright yellow flash, Naruto was in front of him with his fist reeled back. Kakashi's eyes widened. The fist made contact with his face. Naruto breathed heavily. I hit him? Kakashi straightened his head out and shook it. What the hell just happened? Ino stopped her training and stood there with her mouth agape. Naruto, what was that? Everyone was shocked at what just happened, and it was all silent. Suddenly Naruto started jumping up and down in joy. Woohoo! I hit Kakashi-sensei! He shouted in happiness while jumping up and down. Kakashi just stared at the blonde and thought, alright guys, everyone come here. The two blondes walked towards their white-haired sensei. What is it, sensei? Mad that I finally hit you? Snickered Naruto. Kakashi turned to face Ino. Did you see it? He asked her. I think? She replied in confusion. It was so fast she wasn't sure if she saw correctly. Naruto just stared back and forth at the two. What the hell are you guys talking about? He asked. Naruto, you just teleported in a flash at sensei, said Ino in shock. Naruto raised an eyebrow at this. Huh? Was all he could say. Kakashi finally turned to him. Naruto, how did you just hit me? Asked Kakashi. I'm not sure, I just ran at you and punched you, he said, still confused. No, Naruto, you didn't just run at him, you teleported, said Ino, waving her arms around to emphasize her point. Naruto was still very confused. What are you two talking about? How can I teleport? He shouted in frustration. Kakashi thought deeply. I wonder. Kakashi cleared his throat and caught his apprentice's attention. Alright, continue with your chakra control training, I'll be back. And with that he shined out of the field. He appeared in front of the Hokage tower and was about to step inside until he felt a powerful presence behind him and a perverted one. Jiraiya-sama, he greeted as he turned around and bowed. Hey. Long time no see, Kakashi. How you been? Replied the gallant-toed sage. Fine, I have something important to say, let's see the Hokage. Jiraiya looked at him and nodded. The duo entered the building and headed straight for the Hokage's room. They were not asked any questions and were allowed to proceed. Jiraiya could tell this was serious. Usually Kakashi and him were really friendly with each other and often talked about his books. But right now Kakashi was looking stressed and confused. They reached the Hokage's office and knocked on the door. Come in, said a voice behind it. The duo entered and saw Asuma sitting on the couch relaxing, while the Hokage was looking happy as well. Hey Kakashi, hello Jiraiya-sama, said the smoke-addicted ninja. Hello Asuma, we have something very important to discuss. You can stay if you want, it's about Naruto, stated Kakashi. Asuma's eyes opened to this and he nodded. What is it? Asked the Hokage. Kakashi explained how he was sparring with Naruto and Ino. He told them of how Naruto seemingly teleported in a bright yellow flash, and how his eyes turned the same color. Jiraiya and the Hokage were speechless at this. However, Asuma was thinking rather hard. You said it was a bright yellow flash? Asked the son of the third Hokage. Yep, replied Kakashi. And did it leave a trail of light behind him? I'm not sure. I was looking at him standing in front of her, and all I saw was the flash, and he was suddenly in front of me faster than the eye can see. Reminds me of my sensei's technique, but he uses a kunai and seals to do that, replied Kakashi once again, remembering the days under Minato Namikaze. Why did you ask if it left a trail of light? Last month there was a robbery on the streets, and I was about to give pursuit, but your apprentices went after him first. So I decided to watch and see how they did, said Asuma. The thief was fast for a civilian. He could have probably made a decent ninja, but it's too late for him now. Anyways, he was creating distance between Naruto getting faster and faster. Suddenly all I saw was Naruto suddenly speed forward in a yellow flash, as you said, and tackle the thief. From my view he left a trail of yellow light behind him that vanished within seconds, but it was easily visible. The whole room looked at him. Why didn't you mention this earlier? Said Kakashi. I thought that it was part of the Kyuubi's powers, so I decided not to say anything, replied Asuma. The Hokage thought about this. He looked at Jiraiya and he was also thinking. I need to see this for myself, said the third as he stood up. Same here, said Jiraiya. However, I don't believe he can do it on his own will, said Kakashi. The two strong shinobis looked at this and waited for him to continue. When I asked him how he hit me, he said he simply ran at me and punched me. He didn't realize a yellow flash or anything change at all. That's peculiar. What do you think it is, Jiraiya? Asked the Hokage. Jiraiya thought long and hard about this. I think I have an idea, however I would have to reveal an S-rank secret to explain it, he replied. The Hokage gave him a hard look. Asuma just stared at the two. Father, what S-rank secret? He asked. The Hokage looked at his son. I will allow Jiraiya to reveal it, but remember it is S-rank. If you tell anyone, you will be put to death. Am I clear, Asuma? Said the Hokage with much authority and killer intent. Yes, sir, Hokage-sama, said Asuma with a frightened look on his face. The Hokage nodded towards Jiraiya to let him explain his thoughts. Jiraiya nodded back and looked at Kakashi and Asuma. Naruto is the son of the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze. What? Screamed Asuma. His mind was racing. How come no one knows this? He suddenly smacked himself in the face. It was so obvious, the hair, the look, especially the hair. Who else could Naruto's parents be? Kakashi, however, simply nodded. He wasn't officially told, but he figured out as much all along. Yes, now anyways, we all know he is the container of the nine-tailed fox. And we all know that it is intelligent beyond our imaginations. This is only a theory, so I can't be sure, but I think that the nine tails gave Naruto a certain power, making it like his father's technique. Without the use of a kunai or seal, sounds believable to me. The nine tails will die if Naruto dies, and Naruto has been running away from mobs ever since he was little. Saying this, Jiraiya looked hard at the Hokage before continuing. I wouldn't be surprised if he somehow gave Naruto the special ability to move faster if given the need to. Everyone was shocked at this. Is it really possible? They all thought. So what you're saying is, the fox made sure that Naruto would be able to run away from the mobs if he gave him a technique that could basically make him teleport away if need be, and that he might have gotten the idea from his father who sealed him? Asked Kakashi. Precisely, but as you said, he might be only able to use it under the most important circumstances, replied Jiraiya. The Hokage stood up and looked at the three of them. This is important to the village, and I declare this an A-rank secret until Naruto, if possible, can learn to control this technique. I want to see this right now, Jiraiya. Kakashi, let's go. I have an idea, Asuma, said the Hokage. Asuma looked at him. You are dismissed. You can come if you want, but I'm pretty sure you have other things to attend to. Yes, Hokage, replied Asuma as he stood up and shined out of the room. Sir, how are we going to get Naruto to use this power? Asked Kakashi. I have an idea, replied the Hokage. Chapter 9. What is it? Naruto and Ino were busy training their chakra control via water walking. Naruto still slightly struggled with staying atop the water surface while Ino had it practically perfect now. Splash. God damn it! Why is this so complicated? Shouted Naruto in frustration. He swam back to the shore to try again. I'm not sure, but it's easy for me, boasted Ino as she casually jumped up and down on the water. Show off, muttered Naruto as he started walking around trying to perfect it. That's not the only thing I can show off, replied Ino slyly. Naruto blushed and dropped into the water once again. This caused Ino to laugh. God damn it again? Said Naruto as he spat water out of his mouth. I'm getting tired of this. Where the hell is Kakashi-sensei? Just as he said that, a puff of smoke appeared before them. The smoke cleared to reveal a board-masked ninja holding his usual orange book. Damn it, sensei, where did you go? Asked the blonde boy. His face clearly showed his frustration. Don't worry about it. Alright, what have you guys been doing while I was gone? Asked Kakashi. He walked onto the water to go stand beside Ino. How the hell do you do that so easily? Groaned Naruto as he walked back onto the water slowly. Ino smirked at Naruto's words. It was so funny watching him struggle. Practice, now keep trying, replied Kakashi as he and Ino started jumping up and down in the water mocking Naruto. Come on Naruto, just focus, giggled Ino as she continued jumping up and down. Naruto muttered under his breath about inconsiderate girlfriends and sensei. Naruto got back up onto the water and finally managed to stay above for 1 minute. Alright, I got this, just focus. Naruto slowly breathed out and started walking around. Hey, I got it. I said Naruto before he fell back into the water. Ino just started laughing at him non-stop. Suddenly Naruto arose through the water surface, shaking his head around trying to get the water out of his face. Damn it! Yelled Naruto. Naruto, you suck, said Kakashi casually, flipping through pages of his book. Naruto got out of the water, shaking his limbs trying to get some water off. You know what, Kakashi? I hope some random guy with white long hair comes and kicks your ass, yelled Naruto. Suddenly a white blur dashed through Naruto's vision. Ino screamed. Naruto looked to where Ino and Kakashi were and saw Kakashi sent flying off the stream's surface, into a tree. Kakashi was out cold. What the fuck just happened? Kakashi! Shouted Naruto. He looked back to see the culprit. Standing there was a tall man with extremely long spiky white hair tied into a ponytail, with 2 shoulder-length bangs that hung at the side of his face. He also wore a big scroll slung across his back. Ino was terrified. This man came out of nowhere and just knocked their sensei unconscious. Ino tried to run quickly back to Naruto. She couldn't run fast enough as she was sent flying towards him from a kick to her back. Ino! Shouted Naruto as he caught her and softened her landing. Ino groaned and quickly got off him, turning around to face whoever just attacked them. Naruto doing the same. Who are you and what are you doing here? Shouted Naruto, standing in front of Ino protectively. Who am I? I'm the one that will kill you and your little girlfriend behind you, said Jiraiya as he pointed towards the blondes. Naruto was terrified but he didn't show it. He had to protect Ino at all costs. Ino, normally I tell you to run away, but he'd probably chase you down in a heartbeat, so the best plan is to fight this guy together, said Naruto quickly as he prepared his stance. Good, cause if you told me to run away I'd slap you, replied Ino as she also got into her stance. Naruto's sweat dropped at her reply. He quickly charged at Jiraiya, coming in with a right kick aimed for his head. Ino at the same time as Naruto charged at Jiraiya with a left kick aimed for his body. Jiraiya casually blocked Naruto's kick with his raised forearm, and raised his leg up to block Ino's kick. He smirked and grabbed Naruto's leg, throwing him backwards over his shoulder, and did the same with Ino. The blondes went flying towards the river. On instinct, they both rolled to recover and stood on the water. Hey! I didn't fall through! Shouted Naruto in happiness. Suddenly he was sent flying with a punch to his face. Naruto flew through the air and suffered the same fate as his sensei. He flew into a tree. He tried to get back up and go back into the fight, but he found it too difficult to move after standing. He fell back down onto his stomach after taking a step forward. Ino saw this and ran to help Naruto. Naruto! Are you okay? Said Ino as she ran to his side to help him up. Run, Ino, this guy is too strong, whoever he is, coughed Naruto. Ino tried to pull Naruto up but was suddenly pulled backwards by a strong arm. Let her go! Screamed Naruto as he struggled to stand. Jiraiya had Ino by her neck with a kunai aimed at her throat. Don't move or she dies, said Jiraiya, releasing killer intent. He held her in a strong hold as she struggled to break free. She kicked at him and elbowed him her hardest, but he wouldn't budge at all. What do you want? Asked Naruto, attempting to negotiate. Jiraiya smirked and started laughing. What do I want? I already told you what I'm here for. To kill you and your little girlfriend here. She's a good one, congrats on her, said Jiraiya as he slowly pulled the kunai back, ready to stab her through the throat. Too bad she's dead. Just as he was about to stab her, a bright yellow flash blinded him and suddenly he was sent flying 10 feet and skidded across the ground. Naruto stood breathing heavy, eyes yellow and glowing. You will not fucking touch her! Shouted Naruto as he charged at Jiraiya. Jiraiya quickly got over his shock and smirked. He blocked the punch aimed for his face. Holy, this kid is strong now, and super fast. Looks like he got some stuff from his father, thought Jiraiya as he struggled to block the punch. Naruto suddenly roared loudly. The force of the roar caught Jiraiya off guard, giving Naruto an opening. Naruto charged in with a punch. Earth release, earth-style wall. A wall of earth suddenly sprouted from the ground in front of Jiraiya. Naruto attempted to punch through it but only his fist made it all the way through. Naruto! Stop! Screamed the Hokage. The Hokage jumped down to hold Naruto back. Calm down, Naruto, it's okay, said the Hokage as he tried to calm the boy down. Naruto's eyes suddenly went back to its original light blue. Old man? Said Naruto. Seeing that Naruto has calmed down, the Hokage let out a sigh. He looked towards Jiraiya, who had a look of pure shock on his face. Kakashi, come on out, yelled the Hokage. Kakashi swiftly appeared in a wind of leaves standing beside the Hokage. Naruto's eyes widened at this. Kakashi was knocked unconscious, how could he just do that? Naruto turned to look at where Kakashi was supposedly knocked out, and saw nothing there. What, Kakashi-sensei? You were knocked out, how are you awake? He asked, still terribly confused, but then he suddenly remembered about Ino. Ino! He yelled. He turned to see Ino right beside him, confused just the same as him. Ino, are you okay? He asked, checking her for wounds. Besides from a few scratches she was fine. Yeah, thank you Naruto, she said as she hugged him. After releasing him they turned to the adults. Okay, what the fuck just happened? Explain, stated Naruto. The Hokage cleared his throat and motioned for Jiraiya to come. Naruto instantly went into his fighting pose in front of Ino to protect her from any harm that he detects. Kakashi smiled at this as well as the third. Relax, Naruto, let me explain everything, but first off, Ino, Naruto. Meet Jiraiya, one of the 3 Sannin and one of my famed students. Jiraiya lifted up his hand in a peace sign while smiling. That's right. I am Jiraiya, the legendary Toad Hermit and Sannin, said Jiraiya, striking one of his signature poses. Naruto and Ino's sweat dropped. Okay, they both said simultaneously. Now, Kakashi has came to me explaining what happened with you. You seem to have an amazing skill at your disposal and I had to see it to believe it. Jiraiya here was also there at the time, so he decided to come check as well. I devised a plan that made you use it, and apparently you use it when you're really determined, or when you absolutely have to. So we staged an assault on you two with Jiraiya here as the attacker because you don't know him, and because he wanted to test out your skills, said the third casually. The 2 blondes were shocked at this. So, you're really a good guy? Asked Ino. Jiraiya let out a cheerful laugh. Of course I am. If I went rebel, Konoha would be in a really bad situation right now, joked Jiraiya. The Sandaime glared at him, making him be quiet. So as you see, we planned it all out, and now that we've seen your skill, it is fascinating. I have never heard of anyone moving that fast after the 4th Hokage was alive, said the Hokage as he smiled. Naruto was still shocked. He was as fast as the 4th. He was so awesome. Naruto started getting super happy and started blabbering about what he could do. Oh my god, I can do anything, this is awesome, this is awesome, this is awesome, and he just kept going and going. That is, until Ino slapped him hard in the cheek. Naruto, shush. We know you're awesome, geez, said Ino as she got rather annoyed with her boyfriend rambling on about how awesome he is. Naruto smiled slyly. Imagine how fast I could go when we get married? Said Naruto as he winked. Ino blushed madly at this. Jiraiya was scribbling stuff down in his notepad, the third laughed and Kakashi was reading what Jiraiya was writing down. Anyways kid, so we've seen what you can do with it, but the question is, how are we going to train you to use it? Questioned Jiraiya. They didn't have a clear view of how it really worked. They didn't sense any Kyuubi chakra leaking out when he used it. Could it really be a bloodline? But how come the 4th didn't have this? These questions boggled the Toad Sannin's mind. Alright, Naruto. The 3 of us, said Jiraiya, motioning to Kakashi and the third, have no idea what the hell this is, so you're going to be training with me for now until we get an idea of how this works. Awesome. I'm going to be more awesome, shouted Naruto. Ino, you're still going to be training with me since Jiraiya will be training Naruto, said Kakashi. Ino nodded at this. The third cleared his throat. Alright, now that we've seen what Naruto can do, and it seems you two have stuff planned, I will leave you be. Report to me if anything interesting occurs, he said. He then shined out of the area. Alright, enough for today, you two can head home and rest. Naruto, I'll come to you tomorrow instead of training with Kakashi. Ino, I'm assuming you're still going to be learning under Kakashi. Don't worry, you two will be back together training in no time. And with that the Sannin disappeared. Later, said Kakashi as he simply disappeared as well. At last Kakashi could have said something better. Sweat dropped Ino. Whatever, damn it's late. The sun is already setting. Marveled Naruto. Want to go somewhere special? Our special place? Asked Ino. No, I've found a better place, smiled Naruto. He took her hand in his and ran towards his destination. After 10 minutes of running, Ino realized they were at the Hokage Tower. Why are we at the Hokage Tower? Asked Ino. Geez Ino, look what's above the tower, replied Naruto. Ino looked up and a frown came on her face. How are we supposed to get up there? She asked. Naruto sighed. Isn't it obvious? We're going to run up, said Naruto. Ino groaned. She better not fall off. They ran up the mountainside using chakra to stick them to the wall, just like their training. The climb took about 20 minutes. The mountainside was really steep, causing them to concentrate really hard or risk falling off. They finally got up and watched over the village. Hey, let's sit here. Naruto sat down in a soft patch of grass. Ino followed suit, but instead sat in his lap. She leaned against his chest and stared down at the village. It's so beautiful, said Ino. The sun was just over the horizon, bright red, the perfect sunset. The blondes watched in silence, enjoying each other's company and the red sun. Naruto looked down at Ino, who at the same time looked up at him. Their lips interlocked. Unknown to them, a certain white-haired pervert was hiding behind a bush writing like a maniac in his notebook. Chapter 10. Troublesome Girlfriend. Jiraiya-sensei, this isn't working, shouted Naruto in frustration. Do you even know what you're doing? Over the past couple months Naruto has been training constantly, increasing his chakra control, learning new jutsus, and most of all, trying to learn how to control his powerful ability. The Sandaime and Jiraiya still don't know how to help Naruto control this power. They tried to increase his general speed and strength via weights. They had him try to put chakra into his legs and arms to make them stronger and faster, but it wasn't the same. Look Naruto, you could be the strongest shinobi in the whole goddamn universe if you could control this power, replied Jiraiya. The Sannin was still teaching the young genin, trying to help him control his power. But it is currently unsuccessful, however Naruto has grown incredibly stronger. The Sannin pondered and thought of how Naruto can access this special ability. Nothing is working. Annoyed at the fact that even after months of training and failing he decided enough was enough. Naruto, come here, said the Toad Sage. Naruto stopped in his training and ran over to his sensei. Alright, it's been about 5 months since we've been trying to figure out how you tap into this amazing power, but we still can't figure it out, so we'll stop for now and try later on. Naruto was so relieved at this. Forcing chakra to his legs and arms for multiple hours and sprinting and fighting was very tiring. However, it has made his chakra control hundreds of times better. Alright then, what should we work on today? Asked the young blonde. Jiraiya smirked. Let's see how much you have improved. Hopefully this past couple months made you at least somewhat of a challenge, joked the Sannin. Naruto growled at this. You're going down, old man. Naruto charged at the Sannin, aiming for kick to his midsection. Jiraiya jumped backwards out of the way. Wild Lion's main technique, shouted the Sannin. His spiky white hair grew to a tremendous length, enough to wrap around the Sannin's body. It then charged straight for the young blonde. Naruto smirked as he did hand signs. Wind style. Beast wave palm. Naruto swiped arm in the air, releasing 3 waves of chakra. The waves hit and deflected the hair coming towards him, knocking it up and retreating it back to its original size. Naruto charged, summoning a shadow clone to each side of him. Ha! Shadow clones? They won't do anything to me, laughed Jiraiya as he prepared for his apprentice's onslaught. Wind style. Blade of wind, shouted all 3 Narutos. Jiraiya's face looked at them in disbelief but then smirked. The first clone charged at him, fingers stretched out attempting to stab the Sannin with the blade made of wind. Jiraiya quickly ducked under it and kicked at the clone. The clone quickly jumped away, while the second clone attempted to slice Jiraiya's midsection. Jiraiya saw this and quickly spun his body, just dodging the length of the blade. The Sannin jumped back to make space between him and the 3 Narutos, but he only saw 2. Wind style. Twister shot. Jiraiya quickly jumped out of the way before a stream of wind hit him straight in the back. Damn it, thought I got him, muttered Naruto. Suddenly he felt a cold blade to his throat. Nope. Better luck next time, said Jiraiya. The Sannin laughed at his apprentice's position. Suddenly, the Naruto in front of him poofed away. There won't be a next time, Naruto shouted from above. Wind style, divine wind. Multiple tornadoes shot out of the blonde's mouth, aimed for his sensei. Oh, said Jiraiya as the tornadoes collided with him. Woohoo, I won, yeah! Shouted Naruto in triumph. He looked to where Jiraiya was hit as the dust cleared up. But nothing was there. Good job, Naruto. You beat my shadow clone, said a happy Jiraiya. Shadow clone? Since when did you make that? Asked Naruto, before the fight even began. Don't worry, you'll be as good as me eventually, laughed Jiraiya. Naruto muttered something about bullshit senseis. Alright, well you mastered a couple jutsus already. I'll teach you more later on, for now we're done. Yes, shouted Naruto. I'm off to see Ino, have fun, perverted sensei. And with that Naruto quickly ran to Kakashi's training ground to see if Ino was done yet. Ah, young love, thought the Sannin with a perverted smile. Naruto reached Kakashi's training grounds to find Ino hard at work practicing her jutsus while Kakashi was nowhere to be found. Ino was currently sitting down practicing the hand seals required for the jutsu. Naruto saw this as the perfect opportunity to scare Ino. He walked around quietly using ninja footsteps. I can't get this to work, said Ino in frustration. Naruto snickered at her frustration. He silently crept closer. Damn it, so close, said Ino. She continued doing her hand seals, oblivious to Naruto getting closer and closer. Just as Naruto was about to jump Ino, finally! Water style, syrup capture field. A stream of thick sticky liquid suddenly poured around Ino. Hhhhh, screamed Ino. She turned around to see her boyfriend covered with the sticky chakra-infused water. She was confused for a moment, wondering when the hell did he get behind her. But noticing his sticky situation, she started laughing her ass off. This isn't funny, screamed Naruto as he tried to fight his way out. He was struggling a lot, the syrup super sticky. He tried to walk out of it but just couldn't. Gah, Ino, help me. Nope, said Ino while giggling. Your fault for trying to sneak up on me. Damn it, Ino, replied Naruto. He tried to jump out of the substance, but it ended up pulling him back, causing him to land on his bottom. Ino went into a laughing fit from seeing her boyfriend like he is. Suddenly Kakashi poofed out of nowhere beside her. He looked at Naruto, then back to Ino. Hey, I see you did the jutsu, he said happily. Yep, said Ino smiling. How about I treat you to some delicious lunch? Sounds good, Kakashi-sensei, replied Ino. Kakashi and her walked away for lunch, leaving the blonde boy and the sticky liquid. Hey guys! You can't leave me here, shouted Naruto. But the duo just kept walking away. Damn inconsiderate girlfriends. Ino then quickly ran back to him. Excuse me? Fine, I'll help you out, said Ino, clearly mad about what Naruto just said. She used chakra on her feet to walk across the sticky fluid without getting stuck herself. She grabbed onto Naruto's hand and surprisingly yanked him out with ease. Naruto got up and went to hug her. "Thanks, I know, I love you," said Naruto as he went to give her a hug. But Ino was nowhere to be seen. "Ah well, I wonder what Shikamaru and Chuji are doing." Naruto went in search for Shikamaru and Chuji. He headed towards the Nara's house to see if Shikamaru was in. He reached the house and knocked on the door. After waiting a couple seconds, the door opened to reveal Shikamaru's mom. "Hello, Mrs. Nara. Is Shikamaru home?" asked the blonde. Yoshino Nara looked at the blonde. She's heard of the boy from almost everyone, and how he contained the demon fox. Unlike most people, she doesn't hate the boy. Her husband gave her a really clear explanation on this topic. Flashback. "Yoshino, I'm aware that you heard of the new Jinchuriki," stated Shikaku, the leader of the Nara clan. His wife nodded. "Good, now I know most of the civilians and shinobis will most likely hate Naruto, who is the new Jinchuriki. I don't know too much about the boy, but both his parents are dead and he has no siblings. He is to be an orphan. Most likely he will grow up alone and afraid. I ask you of this, no matter what your friends say negatively about him, that you keep a righteous mind and realize how hard life for him is going to be while he's growing up. Please try not to fall into the hate, and fight against it. Hopefully our own son will befriend him too," said Shikaku. Shikaku was indeed an intelligent man. In fact, he's the smartest in all of Konoha. His words made Yoshino think deeply. End flashback. "Hello? You must be Naruto. Shikamaru has told me all about you," Yoshino said happily. Naruto was surprised. Shikamaru told her that his mother was a spawn from hell and was the most troublesome woman he will ever know. "Yup, that's me," said Naruto, grinning happily. Yoshino decided that she could get to know Naruto another time, maybe have Shikamaru invite him over for dinner tonight. "It's nice to meet you. Shikamaru should be hanging around with Chuji somewhere, most likely at the Korean barbecue bar," replied Yoshino. Naruto thanked her, and went off to go find him. Yoshino smiled happily and waved him goodbye. Naruto quickly reached the barbecue bar and headed inside through its flaps. He looked to see if Shikamaru and Chuji were at one of the tables. Suddenly he heard a laugh. He would recognize that laugh anywhere. Quickly following the sound of the laugh, he finally reached the table. "Ino! Kakashi-sensei? Jiraiya-sensei? Shikamaru, Chuji, Asuma-sensei? You guys are all eating delicious barbecue without me," said Naruto, shocked and slightly hurt on the inside. "Hey Gaki," said Jiraiya happily, despite the fact he ditched his apprentice to come eat barbecue with others. "Hey Naruto, did my mother tell you where we were?" asked Shikamaru. Naruto was about to ask how he knew that but decided against it. Shikamaru was just that smart, and didn't need to answer how he knew. "Yep. Mind if I have a seat?" asked Naruto hopefully. He wasn't invited, which still confused and hurt him. "Sure," said Chuji as he stuffed his face full of freshly grilled barbecue. Naruto sat down beside Ino. "Hey baby," said Ino as she gave him a hug. This brightened Naruto's mood up tremendously. "Sorry for being such a meanie earlier." "It's okay, you were just kidding around," replied Naruto happily. He started to put barbecue on the grill in front of him. Conversation was going normal, everyone laughing and talking about their training. When Naruto's meat was done, everything went slightly silent. "Ah, this is going to be delicious," said Naruto as he put the piece of beef in his mouth. Ino and Chuji suddenly busted out laughing hard. Naruto stared at them in confusion until suddenly, "Oh, hot, 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 give me water, the blonde yelled in agony. The beef he got was super spicy, the spiciest he has ever eaten in his life. Ino and Chuji were still laughing uncontrollably while the rest of the group simply ate as if nothing happened. Naruto finally got a jug of water and chugged it all down. After taking a couple deep breaths, he turned to Ino. "What was that for?" he yelled. Ino continued to laugh. "That's for trying to scare me still," replied Ino happily. "I didn't even get a chance to scare you. You covered me in that damn sticky fluid," retorted Naruto. "Well then, that's for calling me an inconsiderate girlfriend," Ino replied back. Kakashi just laughed at Naruto's facial expression. Shikamaru muttered something about girlfriends being troublesome. Jiraiya started laughing as well. And Chuji and Asuma were eating the barbecue. Naruto sighed. This was so troublesome. "Fine, I'm sorry Ino, I love you, will you forgive me?" asked Naruto. Ino's face lightened up. "Oh, of course I forgive you Naruto," said Ino. She went in and gave him a kiss on the lips. Suddenly she got up and screamed. "Hey, my lips are still spicy," yelled Naruto in triumph. He suddenly felt like he was about to get killed over and over again. Reacting on instinct, he ran out the barbecue bar flaps as quick as he could, just dodging a shuriken that was aimed for his head. "Damn, relationships so troublesome," muttered Shikamaru, after running away from Ino and hiding from her for 5 straight hours. Naruto finally gave up and slumped down in defeat. Ino then tied him up to a tree. "Alright Ino, no more fighting today, alright? We both had our fun," said Naruto as he was struggling against the ropes. Maybe, said Ino. Naruto was struggling out of the ropes, which humored Ino a lot. "Ah Naruto, It's funny how you can't get out of the ropes. Oh my god! Ino turned around, yelled Naruto in fear. Ino quickly turned around to prepare for whatever was behind her. Seeing nothing, she grew angry and was about to hit Naruto when she realized he wasn't there anymore. Oh Ino, Naruto whispered into her ear. I'm a ninja, damn it, a rather good one too. Why wouldn't I be able to get out of ropes? Naruto turned her around and smashed his lips against hers. Their tongues fought for dominance. Naruto lightly pushed Ino down onto the soft grass underneath them. Naruto was now on top of Ino, still making out. Suddenly they stopped as they heard giggling. Jiraiya, stop being so damn perverted. Naruto, are you home? Asked Ino. It's been nearly a year and a half after they underwent training from Kakashi and Jiraiya. Yeah, I'm in the shower. I'll be out in a bit, shouted Naruto. Sighing, Ino took a seat on one of his chairs in the kitchen, thinking over the past couple months. Flashback. Come on kid, you can do better than that, said Jiraiya as he dodged a flurry of kicks and punches from Naruto. Oh I know, replied Naruto. A shadow clone appeared behind the big white-haired man, grabbing him by the arms, locking them so he couldn't move. Wind style, blade of wind. Naruto attempted to stab the man in the stomach, however Jiraiya just smirked. Suddenly he disappeared in a poof of smoke. What? Thought Naruto as he accidentally stabbed his clone. He quickly looked around, surveying the area. Suddenly he felt the sudden urge to roll to the side. Doing so, he dodged an incoming axe kick from above. Good maneuver, Naruto. Enough for today, though we will continue tomorrow same time as always, said Jiraiya. Naruto let out a sigh of relief and wiped the sweat off his brow. Think I'll be ready for the Chunin exams? Asked the blonde. Jiraiya let out a laugh. You're more than ready, trust me. You and your little girlfriend are already around Chunin level, replied the sage. Naruto's eyes widened at that. They have improved that much already? Don't be shocked, Naruto. You and Ino have been training very hard the past year. You've even improved more than we thought you two would have, said Kakashi as he and Ino walked onto the training grounds. Ino quickly ran up to Naruto and gave him a small peck on the lips. Don't worry baby, we're passing this Chunin exam with ease, said Ino. Naruto smiled at her. If they really are Chunin level by now, then they are that much closer to becoming the best ninja the world have ever seen. Alright. Ha! I'll show everyone what I'm capable of. Naruto screamed in excitement. End flashback. There was about 10 minutes left to get to the academy to hear what the genin squads will be. Ino was clearly frustrated at Naruto for being so slow. Naru MMPH! Shouted Ino before Naruto quickly silenced her with a kiss. I'm ready to go now, smirked Naruto. Ino glared at him. Taking his hand in hers, they quickly left Naruto's apartment and to the academy. We're going to be late, said Ino, frustrated, and it's all your fault. You know what this reminds me of? Asked Naruto, grinning. Whoa, I know what you're thinking of, Ino replied, also grinning. Naruto laughed at her and suddenly sprinted off towards the academy. Hey! No fair, you didn't say start. Naruto just looked back at her and stuck his tongue out. Ino quickly followed after the other blonde. This was just like their first time going to the academy. This time, however, they were a lot more skilled. Ino quickly took to the roofs of the buildings so nothing could get in her way. She bounded from house to house, easily making her way to their destination. Naruto saw this and frowned. No way was he letting her beat him again. He increased his speed and dodged through the crowds on the streets. Civilians yelled in anger as he narrowly passed them. The streets were more crowded than normal today. Naruto jumped and stuck to the side of a building, running horizontally across them. Ino looked back and saw that she was clearly ahead of him, and she laughed. She clearly won this, she thought. As she turned back around to face forward, Naruto was suddenly right in front of her. H! Shrieked Ino as Naruto picked her up and ran with her. Put me down! Naruto laughed as he slung her on his back and continued running. A couple seconds later, and they made it to the academy. He let Ino off and gave her a kiss on her cheek. It's a tie now, smirked Naruto. Ino just laughed and took his hands in hers, and they walked into the academy. They made it just in time before Iruka walked into the class. Okay class, it's time for the squads to be made, he said. Everyone was excited. They all knew that Naruto and Ino weren't going to be in a squad. Some were jealous at them for being apprentices already, others didn't care. I hope I'm with Sasuke, said Sakura as she stared at the dark-haired boy across the room. The boy ignored her and continued waiting for the squads to be named. Squad 1. Iruka started as called out the following names for each squad. Squad 2. Shikamaru Nara, Chuji Akimichi, and Hinata Hyuga. Ino gasped at this. Instead of her being on the squad, Hinata was put there instead. Shikamaru gave Chuji a high five and they both said their wishes to Hinata for a good team. Whoa, 3 high clans in that squad, Naruto pointed out. Hyuga, Nara, and Akimichi. They could be a force to be reckoned with. And their Jonin leader, Asuma Sarutobi, said Iruka. Asuma walked into the classroom and introduced themselves to them. The 4 of them left the class as Iruka continued naming the squads. Squad 7. Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Harino. Woot! Yay! I'm with Sasuke! Shouted Sakura as she jumped up and down and ran to the side of the boy. Sasuke just glared and ignored her once again, waiting for his next teammate to be called out. And Niji Hyuga? The whole class gasped at this. Sasuke and Niji on the same squad. Those two prodigies on the same squad were completely unfair. A few days earlier, who should Team 7 consist of? Asked the Hokage to himself as he sorted out the squads. Suddenly the door knocked. Come in. In walked Hayashi Hyuga. His wide eyes staring at the Hokage. Ah, Hayashi, what brings you here? Asked the Hokage as he smoked his pipe. I request that Niji be put on the same team as Sasuke Uchiha, he replied plainly. The Hokage's eyes widened at this. Why would he want them to be on the same team? The Uchihas and Hyugas had a small feud back then over the powers of their clans, before the Uchihos were exterminated by Itachi. I have heard that the nine-tailed container and the Yamanaka girl have been training with Hitaki and Jiraiya. We both know that under their tutelage already that they will become powerful. I believe it is fair if Niji is put in a strong team so he can also improve, stated the Hyuga leader. The Hokage looked at him. This was a very strange request coming from this man. However, he knew he wanted power in his clan, and the Uchiha and Hyuga together would be a force to be reckoned with. This could be most dangerous, thought the elder Hokage. Very well, I will do as you say. However, their Jonin leader will be Hate Gecko, replied the Hokage. Very well, said Hayashi. He turned around to exit the Hokage's office, an evil grin on his face. Back to present, Hate Gecko entered the room and greeted his three genins. TCH, don't get in my way, Uchiha, said the Hyuga prodigy with his arms crossed. I'll kill you, replied Sasuke as he stared at the Hyuga. The look he gave him looked as if he was going to do it then and there. Sasuke, you're so cool, shrieked Sakura as she continued to fangirl being on his squad. The three of them left the room while Iruka continued naming the squads. The squads were finally done and Naruto and Ino left the building. Sasuke and Niji Naruto started. Ino gulped. They could be dangerous, but we've been training under Kakashi and Jiraiya. There's no way they can beat us, said Ino with confidence as she stuck her fist into the air. Naruto smiled as her, and together they went to go meet up with their sensei. They got to the training ground and saw Kakashi talking with Jiraiya. They told them the teams, and even they were shocked to find out that Sasuke and Niji were in the same squad. However, they dismissed the thought. Naruto and Ino still were a ways ahead of them due to their special training the past year. Alright, now I really have to train harder. Jiraiya, what will you teach me next? Said Naruto excitedly. He was more motivated than ever now. However, Jiraiya just shook his head. Sorry, Naruto, but I have to leave for a while now due to something that came up, replied the Sannin. Naruto's face dropped. What? But I haven't managed to master my special ability yet. I know. I wish we could figure out a way for you to master it. But unfortunately even I have no clue how you can harness its power yet. However, time will tell. Kakashi will continue being your sensei again. Until we meet again, Naruto. And Ino, keep him out of trouble or get him into trouble, snickered the perverted sage. Ino blushed at his comment as well as Naruto. By sensei, they both said to the sage, who then shunned Hind out of the area. Alright, well, today will be a rest day. I have some important things I have to deal with too, said the masked ninja. And with that he also disappeared. The two blondes certainly weren't expecting that. But after realizing that they were free to do as they were pleased, they jumped for joy. What do you want to do, Naruto? Asked Ino as she sat down to lie on the grass. Well, everyone else is busy with their new squads, so it's only you and me today, replied Naruto as he went to lie down beside his girlfriend. They were so relaxed laying side by side, no current care in the world. Hey Ino, said Naruto. Yeah? She replied back. I love you, said the male blonde. Ino smiled and leaned over to kiss him. They were so happy right now. She thought about how life would be if they didn't meet. What if Naruto ended up falling in love with Sakura? Like that'd ever happen. Chapter 13. The first mission begins. It was a new day. The sun was just floating above the horizon. To most this scene would have been majestic, and only the lucky ones would have witnessed it. A masked shinobi stood perched on the head of the fourth Hokage monument staring at the sky. Many thoughts roamed around in his dark and troubled mind. However, he had to ignore these thoughts, due to more important tasks at the moment. Letting out a sigh, he gave one last look at the beautiful landscape in front of him. Naruto slowly rised out of bed, stretching his arms and letting out a loud and sloppy yawn. As usual, he got out of bed and went along with his daily morning routine. Today's going to be a good day, I can just feel it, thought the blonde as he quickly left his apartment. Before he made it 5 meters from his apartment door, Ino came crashing into him. Naruto! There you are! She shouted enthusiastically. Naruto raised an eyebrow. Well, yes, I am here, Ino. What's with all the excitement? He asked. We have our first mission today. What? How do you know? Kakashi-sensei left me a note in the flower shop this morning. My father showed it to me. It's C rank as well, said Ino. The excitement on her face made her look so cute. Naruto smirked at her. C rank, huh? We didn't even do a boring D rank mission yet. That's what I was thinking too, but Kakashi can probably answer that for us. Either way, thank Kami that we don't have to do one. We're way too skilled for those, said Ino rather cocky as she flipped her hair and winked. Naruto laughed and nodded his head. Well then, let's go meet up with Kakashi-sensei. The two blondes walked hand in hand down the streets of Konoha. The citizens, however, were still grumpy and spiteful as normal, some giving them glares as they walked down the street. As usual, the happy couple ignored them. They knew that one day they'll show them all. Naruto was determined to prove to them that he was a great shinobi. I'll show them all, said Naruto. Ino turned to her boyfriend and smiled. She grabbed his chin and turned it towards her. I know you will. We'll both show them how strong you are, replied Ino as she kissed her lover on the lips. Naruto smirked. It was truly a blessing that they came together. He has never been so happy in his life as to when he is with her. After they finally reached the training grounds, they spotted Kakashi leaning against the training post reading his perverted orange book. Kakashi snarled Ino, with killer intent slowly, but strongly drifting from her. The book always disgusted her. Seeing her mentor read it openly disgusted her even more. The masked shinobi looked up to see his young kunoichi glaring at him. Sighing, he closed the book and put it in his back pouch. Hey, I was just getting to the good part. He shrugged. Anyways Kakashi, I've told Naruto about our mission already. Squealed Ino. Yeah, why aren't we doing D-rank missions like the rest of the squads? Asked Naruto. Well, we could if you really wanted to. The Fire Lord's cat is on the loose again. You can go chase it around if you insist, replied Kakashi. Naruto quickly shook his head in response. Kakashi smiled. Well then, C-rank mission it is, he happily said. What's the mission about? Asked Ino. A bridge building crew needs protection from bandits and thugs. Should be easy enough. We will meet the client at the Hokage Tower in 3 hours. Until then, go get ready and eat. Kakashi then shinned out of the training grounds. Wow, so you guys are already on a C-rank mission? Asked Chuji as he stuffed some barbecue into his mouth. Yeah. We're so excited, we have to protect this bridge building crew, replied Ino as she too took a piece of barbecue into her mouth. That's too troublesome. I'm happy painting fences for the moment, replied Shikamaru as he took a sip of tea. That's probably the most boring mission I've ever heard of, laughed Naruto. Shikamaru just shrugged. I'm okay with D ranks at the moment. Once we get more training we'll hopefully do a C rank mission too, said Hinata quietly. Naruto smiled and put his hand on her shoulder. Then train hard. Surpass your cousin, I know you can do it. She blushed at his enthusiasm. Suddenly someone spoke up. TCH, Lady Hinata still has much to learn. The whole group turned to see Niji standing there. He had a look of disgust on his face. Hinata will never surpass me, she is too weak and it's her destiny to be like that forever, said Niji. Hinata looked down and didn't say a word. Same with your team, a fat ass and a lazy ass and a weakling working together. That's a laugh, said Niji as he continued to look down on the group. Go mind your own business, Niji, replied Ino with anger behind her words. Hinata will grow to be stronger than you'll ever be, same with her team. I'd be quiet if I were Yamanaka, said a voice from behind Niji. Sasuke walked into view smirking. I wouldn't want you to get your hopes up with this pathetic team. By now everyone stopped eating and tension was in the air. Look guys, how about we all calm down and just Kandi started Chuji as he tried to settle down the two groups. Continue eating? Only a fat ass would say that, said Niji. Chuji just sat down and stared into space. Hey Chuji, don't let his words get to you. Everyone knows your family is all big-boned, said Shikamaru as he continued sipping his tea. Big-boned, TCH. Yeah okay, replied Niji. Sakura suddenly joined her team. You're so cool, Sasuke, said Sakura with sparkles in her eyes. The last Uchiha ignored her and crossed his arms. Ha! Even when you're on the same team Sasuke refuses to talk to you, laughed Ino. Shut up, pig, Sakura said in retaliation. Ino stood up and faced her. What was that? Asked Ino nicely. You heard me, I said. A fist stopped right in front of Sakura's face. The only thing keeping it back was another hand. Ino, calm down, said Naruto coldly. Ino looked to her boyfriend to see his eyes covered by his hair. Everyone gulped. Naruto was mad. Niji, Sasuke, Sakura, I suggest you three get out of here. They could feel the power and energy radiating from Naruto. TCH, we have training to get to anyways, replied the Hyuga prodigy as he left. Sasuke and Sakura followed suit, not before Sakura turned around and stuck her tongue out at Ino. Guys, don't let their words get to you, you guys are strong. They're just too stuck up to see it, said Naruto. We know, Naruto, thanks, replied Chuji. Shikamaru and Hinata nodded in agreement. Yeah, and Forehead just can't think straight because her forehead is too big, laughed Ino. Everyone else just sweat dropped. That was lame. Anyways, bye guys, we have to get going, said Naruto as he grabbed Ino's hand and took her away. As they left the restaurant they didn't notice that a certain Uchiha was staring at them. C rank already? I have to get stronger. The couple walked towards the Hokage Tower to meet with Kakashi and the client. You nervous for this mission? Asked Ino. Her boyfriend looked at her and smiled bright. Not at all. I'm excited actually, can't wait to finally be set out on an actual mission, Naruto replied. The couple finally made it to the tower to see Kakashi leaned against the wall standing next to an old man with gray hair and glasses wearing a V-neck shirt and a towel over his shoulders. Finally you two made it, said Kakashi as he got off the wall he was leaning on. TCH, these kids are ninja? Asked the old man. Hey, We're great ninja who have been training for years to become good, said Naruto with a balled-up fist. Yeah, whatever, said the old man. Naruto looked as if he was about to strangle him before Ino pulled him back. Be quiet, Naruto, this is the client, we must respect him, said Ino as she pinched her boyfriend's ear. The old man laughed at the sight. Listen to the girl, kid. Anyways, my name is Tazuna, the great bridge builder. Your mission is to protect me from thieves and bandits. Hopefully you can do your jobs, said Tazuna. Don't worry. I am the Jounin leader and I will be accompanying you as well on this mission, said Kakashi. The old man nodded and the group took off to head towards the gate. What a prick, whispered Naruto. Ino glared at him and bonked him on the head. The group walked towards the harbor to the boat that they were supposed to take to the island. It was a miniature boat that perfectly fit all four of them plus the boat gondolier. Naruto and Ino sat side by side while Tazuna and Kakashi took their seats opposite to them. So, what can you tell me about these thieves and bandits? Asked Kakashi to Tazuna. The man adjusted his glasses and cleared his throat. We've been recently attacked by a number of thugs and bandits, that's about it. Maybe they have a group of 20 or so, replied Tazuna as he cleared his throat again and looked off into the ocean. Kakashi nodded and began to pull out his novel. Ino saw the novel and glared at her sensei. Kakashi, put that away, growled Ino. The masked shinobi let out a sigh while he put it back and pulled out a different green novel instead. Ino smiled and leaned her head on Naruto. About 20 minutes later, Kakashi's face started to turn red as if he was blushing. Ino noticed this and questioned him about it. Seasickness, was the masked shinobi's reply. The boat ride was a tedious one to Naruto. It wasn't too long, but to him it felt like years. The boat suddenly hit the sandbank and caused them to slightly stumble. Kakashi accidentally dropped his book to reveal another one in his hands. One that was orange. Ino was about to yell, but suddenly Naruto jumped off the boat and screamed. Finally! Land! Said the blonde as he started jumping all over the place. Ino turned back to face her sensei, but he was gone and already walking towards their destination at a quick pace. Hurry up, Ino, or you'll be left behind! Yelled the shinobi. Ino fumed and quickly caught up to the rest of them. They walked until they noticed a puddle on the ground. Naruto looked at Ino and they made eye contact. Something was amiss. Why was there a puddle in the middle of the path? It was a bright sunny day, and there hasn't been rain all week. Suddenly, before they could react, the puddle turned into two ninjas with chains connecting their hands. The ninjas quickly surrounded Kakashi in seconds. Ga! Yelled Kakashi as the chains tore through his body. Kakashi! The couple screamed. Thinking fast, Ino quickly stood in front of Tazuna while Naruto charged the attack with his fingers in their signature pose. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Suddenly 4 Narutos ran side by side towards the chained ninjas. Wind style, beast wave palm! Yelled the first 2 clones, releasing a sharp wave of wind towards their opponent. The ninjas quickly jumped to dodge but failed to see the other 2 clones jump as well with their fingers extended out. Wind style, blade of wind! The chained ninjas quickly dodged one of them while they took out the other clone, making it poof in a cloud of smoke. The 2 quickly charged towards Ino, attempting to surround her and Tazuna. Ino, watch out! Yelled the clone. Ino just smirked. As soon as the 2 were within range, Ino called out, water style, syrup capture field. A pool of sticky liquid was released from her mouth as the perpetrators stepped foot in it. Water style, steaming water gun! Yelled one of the ninjas, blowing hot water over their feet, causing the sticky substance to become less viscous and freeing them from it. Ino was shocked. She prepared a kunai in her hand as they charged yet again. But before they could reach her, a barrage of tornadoes hit the 2 ninjas, knocking them away. Wind style, twister shot! Yelled the 3 clones as they shot a stream of wind. They once again jumped to dodge the attack. Ha, you missed! Aga started one of the ninjas before a sharp elbow from above sent him flying towards the ground hard enough to make a crater. The force of the hit pulled the other chained shinobi towards the ground as well. However, before he could collide with it, 3 fists collided with his face, causing the chain to break their bonds and send the shinobi flying in the opposite direction. With the 2 enemies knocked out, Naruto released his clones. Ino, are you okay? Asked the concerned blonde. Yeah, thanks baby, I could have handled them though, said Ino as she crossed her arms. Suddenly she remembered about Kakashi. Kakashi! She yelled. She looked towards to where her sensei was attacked only to see a pile of logs in its place. Substitution jutsu, said Naruto as he felt a hand on his shoulder. He turned to see Kakashi with a smile on his face. Very good, you two. I'm surprised you managed to defeat them, he said with a smile. Really though, I'm really surprised. It was nothing, we both saw the puddle on the ground. Something was up, said Naruto as he put his hands behind his head, grinning. Good, you know how to notice your surroundings and look beneath the underneath. Yeah, thanks to your teachings. But why are shinobi here? Asked Ino. The 3 turned their heads to see Tazuna sweating buckets. Time for you to talk, said Kakashi. What? How's it my fault? Stuttered Tazuna. Well, for 1, you're scared as shit, laughed Naruto. And for 2, I could have easily taken those 2 ninjas out in a blink of an eye. They were the infamous demon brothers from the Hidden Mist. Chunin level shinobi, but I had to see who their target was. It was either one of us, or you, and clearly their target was you, so start talking, said Kakashi with a glare. Tazuna let out a sigh and gulped. Alright, I'll talk. The land is run by an evil businessman called Gato. He bankrupted all the people of the country, and the only way to revitalize the economy is to build this bridge to the mainland, thus ending his shipping monopoly. He makes the civilians poor and miserable. We didn't have the money to make this a higher-ranked mission. Please understand, we need your help, cried Tazuna. Naruto and Ino looked at the man who broke down. Ino looked at Naruto, who she knew clearly felt his pain. Naruto was poor all of his life after all. Kakashi, we got to help them, said Naruto as he turned to face his sensei. Kakashi simply shook his head. This is an A-rank mission, Naruto. We don't have the supplies or force to take on this mission. We have to go back, said Kakashi as he turned to leave. We can't just leave them, Kakashi, said Ino. They need our help. We can't let this Gato guy keep harassing the civilians. It doesn't matter how high this mission is, we can do it. Yet Kakashi, me and Ino aren't just regular shinobi. We were trained by you and the perverted Sannin, said Naruto. Somewhere in a women's only bathing pool was an old man with long hair peeping through a hole in the wall. Achoo! I swear someone is talking about me. Oh well, said the Sannin. He looked back through the hole to continue his research. Kakashi thought for a couple seconds. Okay, we'll help, but on one condition, said the masked shinobi strictly. Follow my orders, or we're out. Okay, replied the couple in unison. The old man sniffled his remaining tears. Thank you so much. Thinking, talking. It was a cold, eerie night. The attack from days before left a shiver in Naruto. He sat on the windowsill of his room in old Tazuna's house, watching as the birds flew across the sky in front of the full moon. He reminisced about the battle, remembering every emotion he felt, excitement, but mainly fear. Fear not for himself, but for the love of his life. Suddenly, a quick cool gust of wind blew by him. Looking to the doorway in the room, he froze. There was Ino, fresh out of the shower with her hair damp, wearing a bedtime kimono handed to her by Tazuna's daughter, Tsunami. Wow, was all he could say as he looked towards his girlfriend. Yeah, the kimono is pretty nice. It was made with the finest silk from the sand village according to what Tsunami said, replied Ino as she struggled to dry off her hair. No, it's not the kimono that I'm wowed about, replied Naruto as he got up from his seat and strolled towards her. Ino looked away embarrassed. Her face was beet red from the compliment. While she was still turned away, Naruto took her face in her hands and turned her towards his. You're beautiful, he whispered as he took her lips with his. Ino melted into his kiss like butter. She kissed him back with double the effort, surprising Naruto. The kissing went on for a couple more minutes before there was a harsh knock on the door. Hey, knock it off you two, I can feel the hormones from here, yelled Kakashi from behind the doorway. The couple let go of each other, blushing intensely. Go to bed, Kakashi, they yelled back. Kakashi chuckled as he continued to his own quarters in the house. It was a nice house, big enough for all of them to have their own rooms surprisingly. However, Naruto and Ino insisted on staying in the same room, for safety precautions of course. Kakashi, finally reaching his bedroom door, swung his arms wide to give them a nice stretch. He reached and put his hand on the doorknob. Something was off, the knob was extremely cold, and it was slightly wet. Sort of like the condensation on the outside of a cold glass of water. He slowly opened the door. He was shocked as to what he was seeing. The whole room was covered in a thick gray fog. No, it couldn't be, he thought as he slowly pulled down the face garb that shielded his left eye. His eye widened. Sitting in the middle of the fog-enclosed room was a large figure, leaning on what it seemed to him as a large sword. Looking at the weapon more closely, he noticed a hole near the tip of blade, followed by a half-circle near the hilt. So it's finally the copy ninja's bedtime, chuckled a deep, menacing voice. Zabuza, replied Kakashi menacingly. Hey, it's close to 3 a.m. I like to get at least a couple hours of sleep before the early morning sun, joked Kakashi as he twirled a kunai in his hand, readying it in front of him. Now what's with all the hostility? It's not like I could kill you, the two brats following you, or the family in this house in a matter of seconds, laughed the demon of the mist. Kakashi tensed, ready to spring at any moment. However, no one and nothing moved. What do you want? Said the copy ninja. You already know, replied the demon, Tazuna. Well, what a surprise, the man who copied over 1,000 techniques is pretty smart, said the Zabuza sarcastically. Kakashi tensed again, gripping his kunai even tighter. Relax, Kakashi, I'm not here to kill anyone, at least not tonight. Then why are you here? Replied Kakashi, as he slowly lowered his weapon and put it back in his pouch. The man who hired me wants the bridge builder dead, incapacitated, and thrown off his shit bridge. However, I could care less about what he demands of me. In fact, I could care even less if that man were to somehow fall off the bridge himself, answered Zabuza as he cleared the mist with one swing of his gigantic sword. For the first time the two shinobi stood face to face. Demon eyes staring into accursed one. Clearly you want the man killed. Who I also assume is Gato, the businessman that Tazuna spoke of. But why can't you do it yourself? Said Kakashi as he continued to stare down his dangerous foe. Zabuza laughed. Well, some would call it a laugh. Correct yet again, and who says I can't? I just don't want to. You see here, said the demon as he pointed towards his headband, missing Nin, as you probably know from the bingo books. Sure, I can rob and kill rich nobles, but there's no fun in killing weaklings. I prefer killing strong, notable shinobis who will scream in agony once I take their heads. I enjoy being hired for assassinations of more important characters in the world. That still doesn't answer my question. I thought the great copy ninja was smart, sighed the demon. I've been hired by Gato for 2 weeks now. It is against my code to kill the man who hired me, regardless of who it is or how much I wish them to die. It'll tarnish my name as an assassin for hire. So, I've come to a conclusion that will help us both out. Kill Gato, and I won't kill Tazuna or those brats. Sounds too good to be true, replied Kakashi. However, judging from the demon's tone of voice and the fact that they could have already begun a battle, the copy ninja agreed to the ordeal. Good, have your brats and Tazuna at the bridge 3 days from now. Gato plans to have me attack you, however I will sit and watch from a distance, and let you do the dirty work. I'll do it. But I must be able to see you from your hiding spot. If I don't see a figure with a huge amount of chakra sitting nearby, I will find you, and I will kill you, said Kakashi as he lifted his mask to cover his eye. As much fun as that sounds, you'll see me west of the bridge. And with that, the demon picked up his large sword with ease and disappeared in a cloud of smoke. Kakashi let out a loud yawn. Well then, this mission has gotten pretty interesting, thought Kakashi as he was finally able to sleep. Ino stood over the edge of the bridge as the sun started to rise. Its orange rays of light pierced through the fading clouds. Its light shined onto the bridge, revealing many hard-working civilians struggling to finish the bridge as quickly as they could. Their motivation, however, was not that it would free them from the evil tyrant that owns them. It was due to the fact that the exact same tyrant is coming to kill them all regardless. Ino stood watch over the workers, willing to protect them at all costs even if it meant her life. She is a shinobi, a ninja of the village hidden in the leaves. It was her duty to protect these men. Ino, are you sure you can protect these people? Asked Tazuna, who stood alongside her watching the sun rise. She looked at him, smiling as the sun shined upon her beautiful face, reflecting off of her platinum blonde hair. Of course, I wouldn't be here if I couldn't, exclaimed Ino, still holding her smile. However, despite her positive attitude, Tazuna was still worried. Suddenly they heard birds. Ino looked up, her eyes catching sight of a flock of birds flying from the north, as if spooked by something. Using her ninja prowess, she leaped up into a tall tree to see the view. Standing on a branch, she looked towards where the birds came from. Her eyes widened, multiple men on horseback were headed towards them. She quickly leaped back down to the bridge. Some men on horseback are headed this way from the north. You have to get you and your men out of here, said Ino. Tazuna shook his head. I can't leave you here alone, was his reply. Ino pulled her hair. I'm here to protect you and make sure you live. Now the only way I can make sure you live is if you get to safety. So take your men, and get out of here quickly, yelled Ino. Tazuna looked away, nothing could be helped. Everybody run. Gato is on his way, yelled Tazuna as he frantically tried to get everyone off the bridge. The men were terrified. They instantly dropped all of their things and ran back towards their town. Within moments, the galloping was heard. It sounded like a thunderstorm, but there were no clouds in sight. Quickly after them. Don't let those fucking civilians escape, yelled the man in front of the large group. However, Ino stood in their path. She swung out her arms, standing her ground in front of the bandits. The man saw this and ordered his men to stop. The group slowly came to a halt in front of Ino. The leader, still atop his horse, strolled towards her. Well, now what do we have here? She's a cute little one, ain't she, fellas? Snickered the leader. The men all laughed as they surrounded her. I will not let you harm any of those civilians, said Ino. Yeah, is that right? You're going to stop me, Noah, said the leader as he pointed towards his whole group, from killing all those stupid poor fucking civilians? Yeah, back off before I make you, replied Ino as she made a little angry face. The group of bandits all laughed, including the leader. Oh, girlie, you can't even imagine all the things we're going to do with you once we're done killing those maggots. Yeah, is that right? Was Ino's only reply. Flashback 3 days ago. Wait, hold on. Zabuza, an A-ranked missing NIN, one of the legendary swordsmen of the mist, was in this house. Shrieked Naruto. Precisely that, replied Kakashi as he continued to read his book. And he wants us to kill the man who hired him to kill us? Shrieked Ino. Exactly, said Kakashi, flipping a page. Ino and Naruto looked at each other. This has got to be a joke. Kakashi would definitely take this seriously if it were not. Kakashi, may I ask why you are so calm about this situation? I mean, it's not like there was a cold-hearted killer in my house in the middle of the night or anything, said Tsunami as she continued to make breakfast. Yeah, Kakashi, we could have been killed last night, and you're acting like nothing occurred, screamed Tazuna. Kakashi, frustrated, put down his book. Everyone sat back down and quietly waited. Look, if he really wanted to kill us, trust me, I would be the last room he would have visited. You, however, said Kakashi as he pointed towards the man across from him, would have been the first room he'd visit. Secondly, yes, he is indeed one of the legendary swordsmen. And thirdly, yes, he wants us to kill the man who wants us dead. Now I see it as a good thing here, because now we don't have to fight him, and instead he is on our side. Doesn't that make everyone happy? As well, How tough could a corrupt businessman and his men be? Everyone looked at each other. Yeah, that makes sense actually, said Naruto. Everyone nodding in agreement. Good, now here's the plan. For the next 2 days you two are training hard. And for the third day, back to present. Ninja! They screamed. They reared their horses to turn back. Blocking their way, however, stood Ino. Yep. Oh right, forgot to put this on, said Ino casually as she tied her village headband around her waist. Hidden leaf? Said one of the bandits. Suddenly, before he could say more, Ino struck him in the throat. Moving before anyone could react, the body dropped to the ground as Ino leaped from horse to horse, delivering head kicks and breaking necks. The group was diminishing by the second, the survivors too scared to fight back, turned to flee. However, once again another stood in their way. Hey now, you really think she'd be alone? A sweet, innocent, beautiful girl like her? Said Naruto as he cracked his knuckles. The bandits continued to ride on, hoping to run over the male blonde. Naruto smirked, pulling up his hands. Wind style, blade of wind hurricane. Yelled Naruto as he released the giant hurricane, sucking in the bandits, violently slashing at them with the blades. They screamed as the blades tore through their skin and some their bones. Naruto scanned the area, making sure none were left standing. He looked over to Ino to see her running towards him. We won all right. She screamed as she jumped onto her boyfriend. Naruto was ready to celebrate, but quickly turned serious again. Seeing this, Ino questioned him. Where's Gato? Was all Naruto replied. Ino hopped off him, scanning the area. Suddenly Kakashi appeared behind them. You're right, Naruto, he isn't in the dead pile, said Kakashi. They turned to him. Hey! Why didn't you help us out? Said Naruto frustrated. Well, I was about to. But you guys looked like you could handle it, said Kakashi as he scanned the dead. 40 men lie dead upon the path to the bridge, all torn into pieces or with indents into their head. All killed by 2 children. Yeah, Naruto and I are awesome. That training sure helped us out, Kakashi-sensei, said Ino. Her sensei nodded. Suddenly more galloping was heard, and this time it sounded like even more. The ground started to shake and tremble as the galloping of horses drew closer and closer to the trio. Within seconds, hundreds of bandits on horseback and on foot approached them. They stopped 50 meters from the group. Ino, Naruto, get behind me now, ordered Kakashi. The younger shinobis obeyed, drawing kunais from their pouches. Suddenly the army split along the middle. Riding through it was a small man in a suit wearing black sunglasses. Following him, however, was what frightened the group the most. A large man, donned in black heavy armor, and a headpiece with 2 huge feathers protruding from it, sat atop a giant red horse, with eyes redder than blood. In the man's hand was a large halberd. The weapon had a long sharp tip protruding from the crescent-shaped blade at the end of the stick. The weapon was as deadly looking as the warrior who wielded it. Look what we got here, the pest that managed to kill Zabuza. It's a shame that he perished. He demanded so much money for what he really cost, said Gato as he shook his head. No matter, I've hired a new bodyguard. One that would crush that fool and his sword in an instant. Gato pointed towards the man behind him. Lubu, crush these fools for me, ordered the businessman. Kakashi prepared to pull down his mask. However, the large man known as Lubu didn't move. TCH, you hired me to guard you from these 3 insects? This isn't worth my time, said Lubu as he turned his giant horse around. The small businessman fumed. What the fuck do you think you're doing? I hired you. The man grimaced. The end of Lubu's halberd stared him straight in the face. I don't give a damn if you hired me. I let you hire me so I could face a strong opponent, not some children guarded by a half-blind buffoon, snarled Lubu. He took his weapon away from the little man and continued to stroll away. Kakashi looked on. He's never seen that warrior before. However, he knew that man proved to be far stronger than one would actually think. Gah! Fuck it all. Whoever slaughters those 3 will be rewarded with as much money as they can carry, screamed Gato. The men all looked at each other. All 300 of them, horseback and footmen alike, jolted at the trio, looking to earn more riches than they could dream of. As the men charged, Lubu stopped to witness the battle. The trio readied themselves. Kakashi pulled down his mask, revealing his Sharingan. Naruto summoned 10 shadow clones. Ino tied her hair even tighter. All right, you two, don't die on me now, said Kakashi. Naruto simply charged at the oncoming army alongside his clones. Ino followed close behind him. Kakashi simply sighed as he joined his 2 apprentices in the charge. Wind style, blade of wind! Yelled all 11 Narutos, covering their fingertips with a sharp blade of wind. As the enemy drew close, Naruto jumped over the enemy, landing on a horse and stabbing the rider through the eye. Meanwhile his clones attacked other bandits, slicing and stabbing away with their fingers. Ino also jumped atop a horse, doing what she did to the other bandits that were unlucky to cross her path earlier, punching, kicking and killing her way through the army. Her clothes were stained red. Kakashi in the meantime took on his own opponents. The leftover men remaining on the charge continued on to Kakashi. Kakashi sighed again and took out his famous book. The bandits, enraged at the lack of attention, charged and screamed even harder. Closing in on the ninja, a bandit sliced at the white-haired assassin, only to not slice anything at all. Confused, he felt a light tap on his shoulder. That tap would be the last thing he'd remember. Carrying on, Kakashi threw multiple kunais without even looking up from his book, killing enemies with precise aim. Watching the battle, Lubu grinned. Ino, watch out behind you. Ino leaped to the side as a spear thrust to the location she was previously at. Before the bandit could react, the kunoichi turned around grasping the spear in her hands only to turn it around and stab the soldier through the neck. Wiping the sweat off her eyebrow, Naruto appeared beside her, kunai in hand. Ino, are you okay? Be careful, yelled Naruto. Ino simply shrugged him off as she charged another bandit. Ino, yelled Naruto. Ino continued to charge the enemy while performing hand signs, water style, rising water slicer. A fast jet of water rushed towards the bandit. He screamed as a giant blade of water sliced through his body, turning the water red. Naruto only watched as Ino continued to jump from bandit to bandit, taking them down with techniques only a skilled shinobi can do. He reminded himself that Ino is capable of taking care of herself as he struck another bandit. Looking around the bridge, he noticed the large man on the horse was still present. The menacing red horse neighed as the man atop continued to watch. Naruto disregarded the man as he continued fighting. Kakashi, on the other hand, continued reading his book, his face blushing from its contents. These bandits were fodder to a shinobi of his caliber. However, despite how skilled he was, Lubu still had him worried. He noticed that the large man has not moved the entire fight. Kakashi scanned the area. They had around 50 bandits left. The battle waged on for another hour as the three ninjas took out the rest of the bandits. Watching from a faraway tree, Zabuza witnessed the whole entire scenario. His eyes particularly set on the blonde female. These children are prodigies. Their fighting prowess is remarkable for their age. Their abilities could even rival my own when I was a child. The girl is proficient with the water style as well. With a bit more training, her skills could surpass even the most skilled water user, thought Zabuza as he continued to watch the fight. Gah! Useless fools! Why did I hire you men if you can't kill 3 stupid ninjas? Screamed Gato, frustrated. Lubu, if you're not going to leave the fucking battlefield, then do something instead of sitting on your ugly beast of a horse. Gato continued to berate the warrior into fighting. Lubu, however, continued to watch the trio defeat the remaining bandits. After a couple moments, Naruto finally struck the last bandit in the chest with a kunai, gasping for breath as his body was fatigued from the long battle. Kakashi and Ino appeared beside him after having finishing with their last kill. I'm impressed with you too. You guys managed to hold your own without me helping you out. That's mighty impressive considering you're both still technically genin, said Kakashi as he finally pocketed his book. The young blonde male was irritated. You were reading that stupid book the whole time? You could have ended that fight hours ago if you actually tried, screamed Naruto. Ino could have gotten hurt, and you were just playing around. Babe, it's fine, I'm alright. I don't need you to baby me in the middle of battle. Besides, I am sure Sensei has a good reason for almost letting us get killed in a fight against 300 bandits, said Ino, as she too glared at Kakashi. The masked ninja merely rubbed the back of his head in distress. Alright, I apologize for not taking it seriously. As a higher-ranking ninja I should have. But I knew you guys could handle it. Remember the training I had you do the previous days? That was a regiment designed for high Chunin-level shinobi. Normal genins wouldn't have come close to completing it, but somehow you two managed. Considering that and all your other accomplishments, I decided that this would make a good test to see how strong you two really are, said Kakashi. And the results are abnormal. The couple looked at each other in disbelief. They scanned the bridge, littered with dead bodies from various types of wounds inflicted by the trio. This would normally scar a regular child, however they knew death was a part of their lives. If they couldn't deal with gore and death, being a shinobi would be impossible for them. Still, Kakashi, Ino could have gotten hurt, said Naruto, still slightly ticked off. The trio suddenly looked ahead as the large man's horse neighed and reared up on its back legs. Its nostrils flaring, and its eyes glaring. Gato, it looks like you're about to get what you paid me for, chuckled Lubu as he threw his mighty weapon over his shoulder. The small businessman was enraged. My men have all finally died. You fucking idiot, you could have jumped in from the start. All that money has already been wasted, yelled Gato. Lubu stared at the man who hired him. Gato stopped his tantrum and froze in fear. Sorry, I'm so sorry I didn't, started Gato. However, before he could finish, Lubu swung his mighty weapon, lopping off his head. The trio stood there, shocked at what has just occurred. Their target has just been killed by his bodyguard. What are you doing? Screamed Naruto. Lubu, however, paid him no mind as he stepped off his huge horse. The trio tensed as they heard the thud of the warrior's feet making contact with the ground. Nothing was said as Lubu walked towards Gato's head. He picked up the small man's head by the hair. You fool, I grow tired of your meddling, said Lubu as he swung his large arm back, throwing the head off the bridge into the deep water below. He turned towards the trio, pointing his large halberd towards them. You three are worthy of challenging me, the mighty Lubu. I am impressed with your abilities, being children and all, especially with you, said Lubu as he pointed towards Kakashi. Your abilities intrigue me the most. I am curious as to what you are truly capable of. The group froze at his words, not knowing whether to be happy at the compliment, or terrified. Naruto, Ino, stay back. This is not a man you are able to fight. You will only get in the way, said Kakashi as he readied a kunai in each hand. What? You just said you are impressed with us, whined Naruto. Kakashi glared at his pupil. Ino, take Naruto and hide. If I fall, I want you to run back to the village. Forget about Tazuna and the bridge, said Kakashi. The young female shook her head. We can't leave you, Kakashi. We can handle ourselves. Look at what we just did, replied Ino, only to receive the same glare her boyfriend got. The couple looked at each other, disgraced with their decision. Fine, we'll stay back, said Naruto as he and Ino leaped away from the bridge, leaving their sensei with the one known as Lubu. Kakashi sighed as he watched his students run away. Looking back to the warrior in front of him, he readied a kunai in both hands. Why are you doing this? You clearly don't care for this bridge or its builders. You've just killed Gato, so what is the point of this useless fight? Asked Kakashi. The man laughed as he sent his horse to run away and wait at a distance. Why, you ask? I have defeated all of my opponents who have stood before me. Shinobis, warriors, even armies. I constantly wonder if there is anyone who can provide me with a decent challenge. I accepted Gato's offer to hopefully find someone who I can fight without needing to hold back. You could be the warrior I am seeking. What is your name? Said Lubu as he walked towards Kakashi, weapon in hand. My name is Kakashi Hatake, the copy ninja of the village hidden in the leaves. My village could use someone like you, said the copy ninja. Lubu simply laughed. Kakashi Hatake, your village has nothing for me if you can't defeat me. Suddenly, Lubu charged at Kakashi, swinging his weapon in a downward strike to where the ninja was standing. Lubu grinned as the blade missed and struck the ground, causing rocks and dirt to fly away from the impact. This will be fun, said Lubu, dodging a kunai thrown at his head from behind. Kakashi grimaced as he readied another kunai. He stared at the warrior as he turned to face him once again. Not giving him a chance, he threw both kunais at the man. Lubu merely scoffed at this attempt as he deflected the kunais right back. Kakashi ducked and dodged the kunais as he charged. Kakashi leaped in the air, performing hand seals quicker than the eye could see. Water style, water shark bullet, yelled Kakashi as he hurled a large shark-shaped water attack. Lubu once again scoffed at this attempt. He waited till the shark was in range, only to sidestep it and slash it in half. Is this really all you've got? These petty ninja techniques can't stop me, said Lubu as he charged the jonin. Kakashi wasted no time. Performing the required hand seals, he unleashed his signature technique. Let's see how you handle this. Lightning blade, yelled Kakashi as he charged the mighty warrior, his hand enveloped in a blue electrical chakra, emitting a sound reminiscent of birds chirping. He dashed the warrior as the ground broke apart along his charge. Lubu charged nonetheless, preparing his weapon for a large horizontal swing. As the two closed in on each other, Lubu swung his halberd horizontally, aiming to cleave the copy ninja in half. Kakashi, seeing this beforehand due to his Sharingan, jumped up, dodging the attack. Continuing the strike, Kakashi reached out his hand ready to lop off the warrior's head. However, Lubu, using his great strength, swung his halberd like a madman in front of him with one arm, leaving no space for the copy ninja to strike. Kakashi had no choice but to aim for the halberd instead, hoping to instead lop off the large blade. Upon striking, Kakashi's eyes widened. Lubu, in a show of pure strength, slammed the end of his halberd on the ground, following a large bellow from the man. A powerful blast sent Kakashi flying backwards a couple yards. However, he quickly recuperated midair and landed on his feet. The ninja looked up only to see a hand above his face. Lubu grabbed the copy ninja by the face, picking him up with ease. Your life ends here, said Lubu as he slammed Kakashi on the ground, dragging his face along the dirt and throwing him like a rag doll. Kakashi skipped across the ground as if he were a rock skipping across the surface of water. He groaned as he struggled to his feet. This guy is stronger than I thought. He's able to use pure strength to counter my ninjutsu. Taijutsu will definitely fail against him. How about genjutsu? Thought Kakashi. He watched as Lubu strolled towards him. Before the warrior could attack, he threw a smoke bomb at his feet, hiding himself within the dark cloud. Lubu readied his weapon as Kakashi charged him. The ninja leaped over the warrior, dodging the blade as it struck. Making eye contact with the man, he used a genjutsu. However, without any signs of reluctance, Lubu swung around, grabbed the shinobi by the arm and slammed him onto the ground. Kakashi screamed as the force shook his body. Zabuza continued to watch from a distance as Kakashi was repeatedly thrown around by this large man. He had no reason to help out. His goal was finished, the death of Gato. However, it was not done by Kakashi's hands, but from the businessman's own subordinate. This Lubu intrigued the silent assassin. It is no easy task to take on the legendary copy ninja of the leaf. This man seemed to be making that task look like a simple D-rank mission. He continued to watch as Kakashi was getting pummeled. We got to do something, screamed Naruto as he punched the trunk of the tree that he and Ino were standing on. They looked on as their sensei was being thrown around by this unknown warrior. Naruto squeezed his fists harder and harder as they watched Kakashi struggle to defeat this opponent. I'm going to help him, said Naruto as he prepared to save his teacher. Ino, however, quickly pulled him back to stop him. I can't let you fight that man. He's defeating Kakashi-sensei like it's nothing. What hope do we have in fighting him if our teacher can't do a thing? Said Ino. There was nothing they could do and she knew it. She wanted to help but jumping in would only get her and Naruto killed and that would be the last thing that their sensei would want. Naruto shook her off. I don't care about our chances. Our chances will be 0% regardless if we don't try anything. I can't let Kakashi die because we wanted to accept this stupid mission, yelled Naruto. He grabbed Ino by the shoulders and looked into her bright blue eyes. Kakashi saved me when I was being attacked by a vicious mob. He looked after me since I was a kid. He did what no one else ever wanted to do. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. After everything he has done for me, I won't let him die. Ino looked into her boyfriend's eyes. His look of determination shook her to her core. She felt a spark inside her stomach, a spark of hope. She nodded her head. All right, fine. I know how much Kakashi means to you. But if we're going to do something we need a plan. A good plan. Kakashi groaned as he was sent rolling across the dirt again. Holding his stomach there was a deep gash across his abdominals. His eyes flickered as he struggled to stand once again. You fool, why won't you stand down? There is nothing you can do against me, yelled Lu Bu as he pointed his halberd towards his defeated opponent. Well, I'm not in the mood to die today. Can't stay down if I intend to see tomorrow now, can I? Said Kakashi as he wielded a kunai in his right hand. TCH, then you Kakashi shall perish, screamed Lu Bu as he charged the copy ninja. However, before he could reach his target a thick viscous liquid covered the ground. The liquid immobilized the warrior's feet. What is this trickery? The warrior struggled to free his feet as he saw two young blondes appear in front of him. He smiled as he realized who they were. Ah, the young ninjas from earlier. I thought your teacher told you to run with your tail between your legs, laughed Lu Bu. Naruto and Ino stood between him and their sensei. You won't hurt him anymore, screamed Naruto. Kakashi was startled by the appearance of his apprentices. However, now was not that time to be heroic. Naruto, Ino, what are you two doing? I told you to get out of here, yelled Kakashi. He took a step forward towards them but fell, exhausted from his fight with Lu Bu. Ino rushed to his side, helping him up. Sorry Kakashi, but we're not going anywhere unless you're coming with us, said Ino as she started to heal her sensei. This isn't a game. This man is out of your caliber, yelled Kakashi. The trio looked to the warrior as he managed to remove one foot from the sticky syrup. Listen to your teacher, brats. I have no interest in killing children. However, you two have proven yourselves to be worthy. Face my wrath and die, yelled Lu Bu as he managed to finally free himself from the ground. We gotta go, said Naruto. He quickly turned to help Ino with Kakashi. We have to get out of here before he catches us. The couple helped Kakashi out of the battleground and leaped to a nearby tree. They turned to see Lu Bu hot on their tails on top of his large beast. You think you'll get away that easily? Yelled Lu Bu as he chased them down. The couple jumped from tree to tree trying to get away. I grow tired of this. Lu Bu pulled out a longbow from his horse, knocking an arrow in place. With the aim of a master archer, he shot the arrow towards the couple. Naruto quickly turned around. Wind style. Beast tearing palm. Yelled Naruto. He slashed his arm, releasing a chakra wave blasting the arrow away. The warrior continued to give chase while releasing more arrows towards the fleeing ninja. Their chase, however, ended prematurely as they came to the edge of the cliff. With no more trees to jump to, they turned around as a large warrior stood in their way. His red horse flared its nostrils and stomped its feet as it stared down its master's enemies. This chase has gone on long enough. You die here, yelled Lu Bu as he charged. Naruto, however, only smirked as the man drew closer. The man was getting closer when suddenly, an explosion occurred beside him. The explosion launched the warrior off his horse, sending him to the ground with a hard thud. His horse buckled and ran off, fleeing the scene of the large sound. The warrior got up, shaking his head and clearing his mind as he got back to his feet. It's over for you. Wind style. Great sickle weasel, yelled Naruto, releasing many air currents towards Lu Bu, slicing down trees as it charged its target. Water style. Water gun, yelled Ino as she unleashed a large wave of high-speed water towards Lu Bu. The two techniques hit their intended target as a large smoke cloud covered the area. The two blondes smiled at their accomplishment, however it was short-lived. The smoke cloud dispersed as a large halberd swiped away the debris. Lu Bu stood there with scratches along his armor, however no real damage was truly done. Is that all you two have got? Your teacher was more of a challenge, and that's not saying much, chuckled Lu Bu as he walked towards the couple. Ino, take Kakashi and continue healing him. I'll hold him off till you're done, said Naruto. Wait, started Ino, however Naruto already charged his opponent. She had no choice but to comply with his request. She started to heal her sensei with what little medical jutsu knowledge she had. Naruto charged his opponent, firing a punch hoping to hit the warrior's face. However, Lu Bu simply grabbed his fist and threw him against the tree, breaking it. Naruto struggled to his feet as he charged the man again. Wind style. Blade of wind, yelled Naruto as he coated his fingertips in a sharp blade of air. He lashed out at the warrior, hoping to land a blow. However, the large man easily blocked and countered the young blonde, toying with him. Frustrated, Naruto attempted to land a kick on the warrior's head, however Lu Bu easily parried the attack with his left arm, only to land a punch with his right, sending Naruto flying. Go help him, I'll be alright for now, said Kakashi as he got to his feet. Ino shook her head. You're not fully healed, I'll need more time. You have to help Naruto or he'll die. I can manage with what you've done for now, just buy me some time as I heal what I can. Ino nodded and turned to help her boyfriend. Water style, water gun, yelled Ino as she launched another wave blast at the unsuspecting warrior. The warrior was sent to the ground as he was struck from his blind spot. Ino rushed to her boyfriend's side. Are you okay? Asked Ino. Naruto nodded his head. Thanks to you, babe, this guy is strong. I don't know how we can beat him, said Naruto as he struggled to think of a strategy. However, Lu Bu was already up and charging at them once again. The duo jumped and split away as a large downward strike destroyed the ground where they were standing. This strategy of running and attacking is pissing me off, yelled Lu Bu. He looked over to Kakashi, who was still struggling to recuperate. This will end things quickly, said Lu Bu as he charged his weapon. The couple looked to Kakashi. There wouldn't be enough time to reach him. No, screamed Naruto as he witnessed a large red and black beam be fired towards his sensei from the tip of the large warrior's halberd. The beam was huge, destroying everything in its path. The beam made contact with its target as a huge explosion startled the area. The blast sent Naruto and Ino flying backwards. Ino got up, her vision blurry. She looked over to Kakashi, her heart skipped a beat. Only a crater was left where her sensei once stood. Naruto rushed over to find his sensei. However, not a trace could be found. Naruto beat the ground and let out a large cry. His sensei was gone, it was all his fault. These thoughts ran through the young blonde's head as he cried in agony. Ino appeared beside him, a tear streaming down her face. Finally, now this is where you die, screamed Lu Bu as he charged the blondes, readying his weapon for the final strike. Suddenly, a heavy mist began to shroud the area. The blondes looked around confused at what was occurring. Lu Bu slowed his charge to a halt, surveying the area around him. You did me a big favor, Lu Bu, by killing that man known as Gato, whispered a voice within the mist. Lu Bu looked around, trying to find the source of the voice. More trickery? I'll kill you soon enough, yelled Lu Bu as he attempted to blow away the mist with his halberd. However, the mist started to get thicker and thicker until he couldn't see more than 1 feet ahead of him. Frustrated, Lu Bu screamed, "Show yourself, coward!" Suddenly a large blade came flying through the mist. Lu Bu turned around just in time to block the spinning blade with his halberd, sending it flying into the trunk of a tree. The mist began to fade away. Everyone's vision finally becoming clear. They looked towards the tree only to see a massive broadsword shaped like a giant butcher knife embedded into its trunk. But what surprised them even more were the men atop of it. Kakashi, you're alive. Who's that guy? Said Naruto as he stared in awe. And who are you supposed to be? Asked Lu Bu as he pointed the tip of his halberd towards his new enemy. The man reached into his pocket and pulled out a tiny pill. Giving the pill to Kakashi, the shinobi ate it. His eyes widened as he felt his strength return to him. The shinobi jumped to his apprentices, shielding them from the large warrior. The second shinobi jumped down too, swinging his large blade over his shoulder. Some call me the demon of the hidden mist, replied the shinobi as he pointed his large sword towards his enemy. But you may call me Zabuza. What if Naruto saves Ino from Sasuke? And thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoy this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel. And leave a like if you guys need the next part. Comment down and thanks for watching the video and see you guys in the next video.